Well, hello everyone. My name is Swamp, and it is TikTok Tuesday. And I accidentally ran the intro right off the bat, so we'll just do it again. Hello everyone. My name is Swamp, and it's TikTok Tuesday. That's right. And of course, it's still Women's History Month, so we're going to be talking about some more amazing women of TikTok. And in case you don't know how this works yet, whatever the voting category is obviously facetious. So we will be looking at who is the smartest lady on TikTok, because all these women seem to be very well educated and fancy themselves to be extremely smart. And I have not included, and I'm not going to include, any trans women for Women's History Month. But before we jump into the actual women, I feel like I should. It wouldn't be fair if I didn't give the floor to at least one trans woman to explain why what I'm doing right now is just truly awful, and you should be including trans women in what is already a stupid idea. But if we're going to do it, I feel like it should be actually women. But anyway, someone very well known to the channel is here to explain to us how that is a very, very bad thing to do, and we should be including trans women. Because never forget, trans women are women.
Happy International Women's Day. As you celebrate, support, and uplift women today and every day, here are some ways that you can show up for trans women if you happen to overhear a family member, friend, or colleague excluding trans women from their feminism or celebration of women. Trans women are women. When you talk about women, you're including trans women because they're women. Womanhood is the innermost feeling of being a woman, so cisgender women and trans women are all women because they have that feeling of being a woman. Adjectives like cisgender and transgender add nuance to the discussion of a person's journey. Transphobia hurts trans people, but it also hurts cisgender folks too. Conversely, trans inclusion benefits cisgender folks. For example, better access to healthcare benefits everyone. It sounds like you have a problem with the patriarchy, not trans women, and we should tease that out. Would you still identify with womanhood even if you didn't have the physicality of your body? Thought so. Happy International Women's Day. As you celebrate, supporting
What a weird thing to say. Would you still...
Example, better access to healthcare benefits everyone. It sounds like you have a problem with the patriarchy, not trans women, and we should tease that out. Would you still identify with womanhood even if you didn't have the physicality of your body? Thought so.
Would you still identify with womanhood even if you didn't have the physicality of your body? I'm not sure what that means. It seems like a completely irrational thing to say. But the point is, I should be including trans women in our Women's History Month celebration, and I am not. So even though we're here to appreciate women's history and the amazing feminists who've helped us get to this point, we're not including trans women. I figure I make fun of trans women all the time anyway, so this time I'm just going to make fun of the ladies, at least just for this month. So, to give you an example of what this special edition of TikTok Tuesday is all about, it's the smart ladies, all right? These women are very intelligent. They know exactly what they're talking about, and they can teach me, the patriarchy, a thing or two. So, before we jump into our contestants, I'm just going to give you a quick example of what we're talking about here.
I could say a lot about this TikTok ban that people have been talking about, but I want to be as concise as possible and say this. Every single member of Congress who took an oath of office promised to protect Americans from threats, both foreign and domestic. And if we want to pass a package of legislation to protect users' data and information from potential threats, we need to remind ourselves of that phrase. Foreign and domestic. Facebook has been proven to participate in regulations that stoke the flames of white supremacy and fascism.
Oh yeah, they're notorious for that.
Do
notorious
horrible,
for it.
harmful things with users' data. Twitter is owned by a South African billionaire who uses it to boost his own social capital and has stripped away safety regulations that have allowed for U.S. elected officials.
Oh, it paused for some reason, and man, what a screenshot we got from that. Apparently TikTok doesn't want this info getting out there, you guys. For some reason, TikTok has stopped. And you know what's sad is we weren't even halfway through that. So let's see if we can.
I can say a lot about this.
Let's get back to where we were.
Has been proven to do horrible, harmful things with users' data. Twitter is owned by a South African billionaire who uses it to boost his own social capital and has stripped away safety regulations that have allowed for U.S. elected officials to be impersonated on that social media platform.
I'm pretty sure that's not true.
If you are going to pass legislation to protect Americans' data, to protect Americans' privacy from social media companies, you better damn sure make sure that you are protecting us from all of the companies, from all of the places that have our data, and not just picking the ones that you think are the most politically advantageous for you. Because let's not forget that Facebook admitted to hiring a firm to lobby and turn the American public against TikTok. Seems pretty anti-democratic to me. So if I see a bill pass through Congress and make its way to the president's desk, that bill better be applicable to every single social media company. And I want to be extremely clear when I say this. There are over 150 million Americans on TikTok. If TikTok is banned under this administration, as a Democratic strategist whose sole goal is to keep America from sliding into fascism and keep Republicans from taking majorities. With those
some big brain
mind,
takes here.
I
big
say
brain.
With full confidence, if Joe Biden bans TikTok, he will lose the presidential election. Do with that information as you will. And if you're a member of Congress, every single threat, foreign and domestic. I could say a lot about this.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So that's the kind of big brain takes we're going to be looking at here today. I know that's not a fat joke about her. Though she is rather rotund. Oh, man. Yeah, Facebook is just known for promoting white supremacy. I mean, geez. Zuckerberg and all, I mean, they've just been all... He basically might as well be a Nazi. And overall, I don't think this argument that she's making... I would actually agree. Let's apply it to all of it. Because isn't really what we're talking about here, like what they're discussing is banning TikTok from, and they've already done this, I'm pretty sure, government devices. So like if you're a government employee, use government devices, you can't have TikTok on there. And of course there's discussion about getting TikTok to not be owned by China if we're going to keep using it at large in the country. But actually, yeah, let's ban all social media. I feel like she thinks that this is going to make people go, what? No, don't ban Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And I'm okay. Get rid of Facebook. If you hate it so much, I haven't had a Facebook in like 8 years. Get rid of Facebook. Get rid of TikTok. Fine. I'm not sure this is making the point that you think it is, but anyway. I added, by the way, you guys, so whenever I talk about the comment section, boom, got the comment section on there now. And man, a lot of dumb people follow this a lot of very smart people follow this incredibly smart woman. But yeah, that's the kind of high IQ takes that we're going to be looking at here. First up, Oh, and arguably this might be the worst one out of the bunch. Not to influence the future, the votes that will be coming up later, but man, this woman is something else. Her profile says board certified family doctor, mom to 4, Disney fan, and rainbow hair. So I think we're about to hear some big brain takes, but they're also takes that are apparently endorsed by the experts because she is a board certified family doctor. Oh, take it away, Jessica. I'm sure this is going to be just some great stuff here.
Those injectable weight loss medications are no joke. They're not for casual weight loss, but for those of us who truly need them.
Why would you take a video like this? Look at your face.
I've been really clear about this. I was on Ozempic for about a year, then started having complications related to gallbladder, had my gallbladder out, and now just restarted 3 weeks ago. It's still not fun. Can't decide if my favorite side effect is the constant sulfur burps. No, maybe the constant diarrhea. And then confusingly,
okay, we're skipping this one. I can't listen to more of this.
Here's a strange symptom I had with COVID this time around that I haven't had the other times, that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about, and that includes my patients. But now I'm back and talking to people, it turns out all of them are having this right now. Okay, almost all of them. But in case you didn't know, I'm a doctor and a mom. I see kids, adults, and everything in between as family physician. I have COVID again.
I can't wait to hear these just brutal COVID symptoms that she's experiencing. She looks fine. It doesn't look sick. Well, I mean, she looks sick, but not physically ill. Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be like groundbreaking. Of course, she's still obsessed with COVID. Still.
And you can go back and figure out why I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was doing things with the kids, and the kid didn't have a mask, and so I sacrificed mine, and I ended up sick. More of I'm low-key sick, and I'm stuck in isolation because I don't want to be a jerk and get other people.
Huge red flag, as always, if someone says something low-key this. I low-key thought that, get out of here, shut up. And this woman is a doctor. She's the experts that we're supposed to be listening to. But anyway, continue explaining what I assume is your 5th time getting COVID after being vaccinated 19 times.
People sick. But I've had this really strange symptom that I haven't had with any other illness recently, except for my seasonal allergies. And now talking to other people who've had it recently, they've actually also had this symptom. And because it looks like an allergy symptom, it's terrifying me that there's a lot more people out there with this right now than we are aware. And while it is the case right now, the disease is mostly mild. It's not for everybody, so you should know if you're exposing other people. But I'm sneezing like it is my job, like my allergy sneeze. It's not a sick, congested sneeze. I feel a tickle in my nose.
So the new COVID symptom has just dropped. If it seems like you're getting allergies, it's COVID. Are you sneezing? COVID. It's COVID, you guys. You got COVID. Even if you're someone who normally gets allergies fairly easily and gets them pretty bad, it's COVID now. This is very similar to when they said that having no symptoms was one of the symptoms of COVID. This lady is very smart. Yes. Thank you, doctor.
Apparently this needs to be said louder one more time. The hope with vaccination is that it prevents illness, but if it does not, the other reason it exists is to prevent you from dying from illness or having severe illness. So as a doctor and mom, I have COVID for the 3rd time because this time I was doing the right thing for my child who did not get COVID, and I did instead.
I mean, normally the people who are vaccinated, like I said, like 19 times or whatever, usually they've had it like 6 or 7 times. Only 3 times, Dr. Mom, you gotta, those are rookie numbers. Bad.
You can go back and watch my video about why. But I'm honestly just congested and somewhat fatigued, and that's it. Now, I've been doing telemed visits for urgent care this week, and let me tell you how many truly sick patients there are out there right now. Let me tell you how much I am quite certain there are lots with COVID who refuse to get tested. Or they don't keep testing when they're negative and always think that they just didn't have it, which isn't usually the case. And that's what happened this time with me. I tested negative several times before being positive. Irrespective, I'm 100% sure that I'm only...
I cannot believe that. I mean, this person claims to be a doctor. Can you believe there's people who walk in to a doctor's office and see this woman and go, oh, well, I'm in good hands. This will be great. She just explained that I kept testing for COVID and I was negative and I was negative and I was negative and I was negative. And then bam, the worst thing. It finally happened. I was positive for the third time. And she doesn't appear to be sick at all, even though I guess we just learned that she is sneezing a lot, though. But she does usually get bad allergies, but it's definitely the COVID.
Mildly ill
Man.
because of my vaccination, because I have multiple comorbid reasons to be much sicker. Thanks for asking how I feel. Apparently this needs to be said louder one more time. The hope with that.
No, it doesn't. But I just want to point out that she just spat all over the damn place. Did you see that? Right at the end. There it goes. Oh. Let's see if I can get it. I catch it.
Thanks for asking.
Oh, God. Oh, I didn't mean to like the video. I was trying to get it to play.
Reasons to be much sicker. Thanks for
mouth breather.
Thanks for asking.
Gross. Super smart. This is the doctors.
Okay, so this is my third time having COVID. In case you didn't know, I'm a doctor and mom. I see kids, adults, and everything in between, and I am sick with COVID. All 3 times I've had it have been fairly mild illness. This is yet to be seen, but the other 2 times I recovered very quickly, and I attribute this to the fact that I'm fully vaccinated. I am still worried about long-term consequences of contracting.
I attribute this to the fact that I am fully vaccinated. Really? Well, I have not been vaccinated once. And guess what? It was mild for me too. But yeah, it was the being fully vaxxed for sure that got it done.
Contracting it 3 times. You can go back and watch, but the first 2 times I had incidental exposure. The first one for my kids going to outdoor ed, school not following protocol. The second time acting as a good Samaritan. 3 weeks later, got a different strain. This time, letting my guard down at a dance competition when my kid didn't have a mask.
Letting my guard down. Damn.
Right now, I know my biggest
She's at
protection
war.
outside of masking as consistently as possible is my vaccinations. And we know that those vaccinations are helping to prevent long-term consequences if you do happen to contract it. When you have 4 kids and you're at this point
Which
in the
is
pandemic,
interesting because you know who disagrees with that? Literally all of the experts now. Who I presume she believes 100%, absolutely, wholeheartedly. Man, the CDC, the NIH, the WHO, the federal government in general, they don't even claim that anymore. Oh, man.
we're just doing the best we can to prevent the kids, at least, from being exposed as much as possible.
And in case you're wondering if I'm just showing like some really old videos from people didn't know better, this video was posted 6 days ago. 6 days ago. Jeez, man. Let's check out the comments, all right? Good thing you got all 12 vaccines. What a joke. I love... So this person says, 3rd time, what happened to natural immunity? I thought 10 months. So I guess natural immunity, they think is supposed to last 10 months. But she says, not a thing. This is a doctor. And she's saying right here, natural immunity is not a thing. Man, some big brain stuff going on here. Thank you, doctor.
Want to see what happens when you let your guard down for a second? That is what happens.
Gas.
Yeah, doctor and mom, and I have COVID again. And the mom part has most to do with it. Dance competition last weekend did a really good job masking 99% of the time. The 0.1% was when my daughter would forget her mask. Well, maybe it wasn't 99%, it was more like maybe 85% because it was happening frequently. And the problem was I wasn't with her the whole day because she was in classes, so I couldn't be there when I needed to check that she still had a mask. And I did bring an extra one, but at multiple points she either lost that one too or we had a problem. So
wow,
at
what an
multiple points
insane
during those
person.
times,
Holy
people
crap.
coughed in my direction in closed spaces. I started to get symptoms probably Saturday-ish. I had fatigue, but that was, again, we're at a
this
dance
point,
competition.
I'm forced to ask, what do you guys think the odds are? I mean, what are the odds that she's actually a doctor? And this isn't just something that she does on TikTok. I mean, I'm just I just don't want to believe that this person is a doctor.
I really started developing sinus symptoms when I got home Sunday night. Tested a few times, didn't have access to PCR. Today I do, but I tested with the rapid and it's clearly positive. Symptoms mild, thank goodness. I'll keep you posted. Keep your guard up. Want to see what happens when you...
Keep your guard up. We're at war still. Remember, COVID isn't over just because you're over it. Oh, man. But of course, the comments are always great. People still refuse to stay friggin' home when they are sick. It's ridiculous, the lack of common sense and empathy for others. Oh, no. Yeah, GG, Greg. Absolutely. The people who lack common sense are the ones who are just living their lives normally. This woman right here, this face is the one. This is the face of common sense. Keep your guard up. COVID is out there. Want to see what happens when you let your guard down for a second? Man. Yeah, this right here. This is the face of common sense. Absolutely. I say, can we zoom in on it? But I guess I can. I'd have to pull out the high-tech tools, you know, the screenshot. Man, tell me more about common sense, please.
Here's a medical tip your doctor probably has not told you, but really you need to hear. In case you didn't know, I'm a doctor at home. I see kids, adults, and everything in between as a family physician. And I've got some information for you about your eyes, specifically about infection in your eyes, or more likely your kids' eyes. Now, most of us have had a day where we've woken up or our kids woken up or gotten a call from school that our eyes are goopy, shut.
Given everything this woman has said about COVID, I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to trust any medical advice that comes from her. But let's see what we got here. Oh, hey, thank you, Catherine. First super chat of the night. We do need a break from this fantastic physician. All right, let's see what we get. Super chat jukebox activate.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I think it's under control.
It is what it is. That's actually that was actually the perfect song for listening to this lady still talking about how COVID is out there. Get over it, lady. It is what it is. Oh. All right, let's see if she actually has any legit medical advice or if it's all like her takes on COVID.
Hard time to get open and the eye's pink, or there's no discharge with the eyes pink and people freak out. Oh my gosh, this is pink eye. We must treat it now. Yeah, you must treat it now. That's not wrong. But where it goes wrong is most people think that you need an antibiotic.
Why do they all have facial expressions like this? I don't understand. I mean, how could you walk into any room in any, for not even just a doctor, just anything in general, and they're just constantly making faces like this while they talk? I went to Nashville over the weekend for a friend's birthday, and dude, I don't know how people live in the cities anymore. I really don't. To me, this is what everyone looks like there when I go there. It's nuts, man. Oh, God help us.
Antibiotic eye drop to treat it. And in fact, this thing has gone on for so long that most places like schools, daycares, work require you to take that before you can even come back. But most of the time, it's viral or allergic and doesn't need it. Yeah, only like 30% actually is bacterial. Check out part 2, I'll explain the difference.
No, thanks.
Definitely got something big and life-changing for me in the works. So I've lightly touched on what's been going on in my professional career the last few months, and I'll be able to be more transparent as it comes. But in February, 2 days before I went to have...
Again, as if there isn't enough red flags about why you shouldn't go to this woman if you walked in and you were looking for a doctor. Her skin is... She does actually look unhealthy. Like she's not drinking enough water or something. Is that just me? I mean, obviously you got everything else. The crazy eyes, the rainbow hair. But her skin just, it looks like it's like she needs to drink water. You need some electrolytes, lady. I don't know. Maybe she just always eats fast food since the FDA or whatever said that, Lucky Charms are healthier than eggs now. Maybe she's just following the guidelines, you know? She is a follower for sure of the experts. And I'm pretty sure the experts would probably tell you that eating McDonald's and ordering pizza every single day is healthier than if you butchered a cow yourself and slaughtered it and had it, fresh beef. That's probably bad for you. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it.
Have my gallbladder out. I went for an EKG to my office where I had worked
I don't care
for
about
6 years.
this. I'm sorry.
If you counsel somebody not to use substances for their health, you must also...
Please go back and watch exactly what Dr. Kelly is.
Oh man, look, it's even worse when her hair's down and it's not pulled back. What is going on here? And of course she's got those feminist glasses. Damn.
Saying here in regards
She's the whole
to this,
package.
and I have another point as well in regards to risk reduction in medicine. And this relates to those of you with kids. Because as a physician who sees kids and adults, one of the things I always talk about when we talk about substance use is how to use safely if they're going to use, or at least as safe as possible. And then we talk about
How am I
how
only
there's never
just now
100%
noticing the
safe
nose
way to do
ring,
these
too?
things. And I also say the same things to my children. I can definitely go in and do a series on this if it's helpful to people, so please let me know. Different conversations apply to different ages, for sure, and different substances. But I think the biggest thing to say here is to make sure people know that you are a safe person, no matter what choice they make, if they need help. And then the hard part is to be that safe person if they reach out to you and really stick to what you promise. This strategy and the one Dr. Kelly is talking about is life-saving.
If you counsel somebody...
Wait, is she talking about Yeah, I'm just immediately suspicious of any doctor who's giving you life advice that's not related to health. Seems like what she's suggesting is, or she's talking about, being a safe person for someone to reach out to. That is not your job, lady. And just by the look of you, like I said, I'm not even coming to you for health advice, let alone life advice.
Let's talk about effective means of communications and ones that are just not communication.
Wow. What are the odds that this is the video right after I just said that? Here we go. Yes, please tell me how I should live my life. I'm sure, you just seem to be fantastic at navigating the world and communicating with people. Oh, man.
Communication. Not only am I a doctor and a mom, but my background is in human behavior,
Of
mental
course
health,
it
and
is.
psychology. So for
Of
whatever
course
reason,
it
I did
is.
this post about that permanent jewelry that isn't really permanent, but I've actually had several people have problems when it was put on improperly, and they've had to have it taken off emergently, and it's been this huge issue. And it's led to delay of care for the thing they were getting seen for. And for whatever reason, when I made a TikTok about it a while back, people got seriously triggered by it. I'm sorry about that. I really didn't realize it would be a triggering thing. I digress. That's not really what this is about. What this is about is
I'm triggered
that
right now,
people,
lady.
when they were commenting back,
I need an apology.
There are ways to explain things to people so they understand your point, and then there are ways that people are just not going to hear you. And it's one thing to be sarcastic like I am, and it's another to be flat out rude to people, and then people just don't hear what comes next. For instance,
Wait, she thinks she's sarcastic? I have not heard a single sarcastic thing.
this commenter...
As a person who has built a whole thing, TikTok Tuesday, around being sarcastic. Whatever we're voting for, we're really voting for the opposite. For example, today is who's the smartest woman on TikTok? And she's making a strong case for it. A strong case for it.
May actually have a really good point that most of the time, if you have this jewelry and it needs to be removed, they can do it without a problem. But when you tell somebody to grow up and give them the middle finger, not effective. Let's talk about effective.
Well, we do have some good news here, ladies and gentlemen. We go over to the comments. Have you found a new practice yet? So apparently she is not currently practicing. I am shocked. That's sarcasm, Jessica. That's sarcasm. Saying you've had COVID 18 times is not a I'm not sure where the sarcasm is.
Healthcare in this country is so bad that it's driven people to go to other countries to get it, and it's not without consequence, and we need to be talking about it.
I just cannot stand this. The way that so many of these people do this, the exaggerated facial movements, that's something you do intentionally. You know what I'm saying? It's it makes you seem like a child. It's not real. I mean, here, let's turn the sound off and just watch her face. It's like moving like a cartoon character. I mean, good God. If you saw a person in a movie doing that, you'd say, this is overacting garbage. This is terrible. But so many of these people do this who have this mind virus, the woke or whatever you want to call it thing. They all do this. I don't know why. They all have the crazy eyes and they all do these weird facial movements. I don't know.
Healthcare in this country is so bad that it's driven people to go to other countries to get it, and it's not without consequence, and we need to be talking about it. Dr. Mom, I see kids, adults, and everything in between as a family physician. And we need to be having this conversation, not just because of the poor people that were just found kidnapped in Mexico. 2 had been murdered.
God,
and they were there for some type of medical
procedure. Disgusting.
But because this is a symptom of a much larger...
And not just because of the color. The color's god awful, but it's the hair. I mean, look at it. It's gross. It's brittle. It's like really dry. It's disgusting. Physician, heal thyself. You really need to drink some more water, eat healthy, and damn, lady, take care of your hair. But yes, tell me more about the American healthcare system that you apparently are a part of.
Problem, and I have seen other consequences that are not just the kidnaps, scary things happening, but the aftermath of these procedures. To be clear, I'm not mitigating the horror of that and the kidnapping issue and all those other things about going to Mexico to have procedures done. But can we talk about how messed up it is that people in the U.S. are having to go to other countries because they cannot afford procedures here? And I don't care if it's elective. I don't care if it's something that they want to be done just for ha-has. We should still have access to good...
Well, see, she's so smart. What a beautiful, brave, smart lady. Of course, all the things that could explain why someone would go to risk going to a place like Mexico, going to a place where you're intentionally, like, it's bad things could happen, going and showing that you've got a bunch of money, knowing you could be kidnapped. Is absurd. I mean, and we shouldn't allow. Like, she's arguing that cosmetic surgeries, elective surgeries, should just be super. Like, you just walk in and go, "Hey, I want to get this done," and they go, "Yes, walk right this way, sir. That'll be $45, and we'll take care of that for you." No.
Good healthcare when we need it, no matter what kind of healthcare that is.
If anything, I'm sorry. I'll let her finish because this is important stuff. God, every time I pause it, he just says like an ugly face. Anyway, the procedures that should be expensive are the elective ones. The procedures that cosmetic and elective procedures, those are the ones that should be expensive because it's elective. You don't need it. Oh. God, look at that face.
Two biggest problems we have, we know, which is cost and access. That includes those of us who have insurance. For instance, just had my gallbladder out, as many of you know. And my out-of-pocket cost for my gallbladder with good insurance was over $3,000. I tell you, that's like a 5-minute procedure. Okay, fine. Like when you get me back and all that stuff, it's like a 25-minute procedure. Tell you, most of that is not going to my doctor. In fact, none of what I just quoted you was going to my doctor. As this drives people out of the country, the problem is they have no system for follow-up. As somebody who practices medicine in Los Angeles, you are looking at the system for
of
follow-up
course
care
it's in
for
Los
lots of people who
Angeles.
go down to Tijuana and related locations. We talked about this before. You know, it ain't pretty. Patients sent home with literally no instructions. Like, off the table, here are your pain meds for today. Go.
You know what's funny is I feel like if in any other context, if you were to say, man, Mexican healthcare is shit, she would be all over you for that, acting as, what? Oh, what? America's healthcare is so great? What? That seems racist and xenophobic to say that. But here she's just shitting all over the Mexican healthcare system, which it deserves. But I guarantee you, in any other context, she would not have that same feeling. She wouldn't. She definitely not. And as these things always go, if you really want to break this down, $3,000 for, and I had good insurance. That statement right there tells you nothing. I mean, that does not tell you anything. I think everyone agrees across the board that we need some reform. I would argue because of government interference in insurance and in the healthcare system in general, even though this person would clearly think that it would be the opposite, that we need more government control. But we all agree there needs to be some fixing this. But just saying it was $3,000 and I have good insurance, that tells me nothing. Is that supposed to prove something? What do you mean? Was that what you had to pay out of pocket? Was that the total, and then the insurance covered some of it? And then who, as far as who the money I mean, this is just saying that is not a it tells me nothing. It is not proof of a problem in and of itself. But yes, I do agree. We should have some. Our healthcare system needs to be overhauled, but I think we would wildly disagree on what the problems are.
Go back to the U.S. tomorrow and see your doctor on Monday, and they just had a full abdominoplasty, like full-on tummy tuck. There are drains and things that have to come and go and all that kind of stuff. Like, we can't just be sending people out like that. More than one of these cases have ended up hospitalizing patients who have had complications from these procedures because, again, they just have no means of follow-up. Also, no counseling about adequate pain control and how to manage that. Imagine somebody doesn't tell you how painful something's going to be for how long, and you're sitting there wondering if it's normal or not. That's terrifying. And if you didn't have money to get the procedure done in the U.S. to begin with, you probably aren't going to be able to get care for the complications here either. Actually, let me be the first one to say, this shit sucks. People who've had this happen, or do you have a good solution here? I would love to hear from you. Please drop me a comment. Let me know if you know anything else about this or have any other questions.
Gee, you're a smart lady. Golly. I bet you have a bunch of degrees framed on your wall.
Is this the boy section too? Yes. You gotta be kidding me.
Well, sweetheart, if you think this is pushing an agenda by sharing that colors are colors and colors don't have gender, yeah, they're pushing an agenda. And for historical.
First of all, no. That's, I mean, let's actually, because this video went viral and everyone was acting like, oh, well, colors don't have genders, man. Even if this wasn't like some obviously effeminate colors, bruh, Bruh. We're bringing out the big guns. Enhance. Zoom in. Bruh. The color issue aside, is this... I mean, come on. You're telling me this is not a girly design? So even if the colors were different, I don't know why they keep bringing up the colors of it. I mean, come on, bruh. That's some that's one gay shark, my brother. Get out of here. What is this nonsense? Oh, you have a problem with the color pink? I mean, no, I don't really have an issue with the color pink. The fact that the shark is a homosexual, yes, I kind of have an issue with that. But no, it's great. It's fantastic.
Well, sweetheart, if you think this is pushing an agenda by sharing that colors are colors and colors don't have gender, yeah, they're pushing an agenda. And for historical reference, pink is historically a, quote, boy's color. But last I checked, color...
It's actually not. That's also something that's wildly misrepresented in history. God, her face. Every single time I pause it. Every time. I'm just so tired of hearing this crap. Well, actually, pink has been historically a boy's color. As if that's even relevant, because, well, historically, at this moment, and for quite a while, that has not been the case. But anyway, no, actually. It's pink is essentially a light red, and all different shades of red have been used for, as masculine colors, including lighter shades of red that you can call pink. It's not the same as like a hot pink Barbie doll, okay? It's not the same. If you want to go, actually, historically speaking, and aren't these the same kind of people that want to get rid of our history anyway? Historical injustices? I don't know. God, that face. It's going to be haunting my nightmares tonight. Last I checked, color has no gender. It actually makes more sense to say that a color has a gender because you have words to describe colors than it is to say a human being has gender. But that's a whole different discussion. That's a whole different discussion. God, your hair is gross. I mean, what happened here? It's not even just the colors. I mean, look at that. Man. This poor... I mean, actually... Beautiful and brave. Smart. Sharp as a tack.
Color has no gender. So I guess if the agenda here is to teach the next generation to be better than ours, yeah, I guess that's an agenda. You got Target. So the only thing sick about this is the thought process that there would be something hidden to harm you or your child.
Mm-hmm. Is this the...
God, I just absolutely hate these facial expressions. If I saw someone, even a woman, doing stuff like this right in front of me in public,
the thought process...
I've never hit a woman, and I never intend on hitting a woman, but it would be all I could do not to just slap the living hell out of her. You're in public, lady. What are you doing? You're not standing in front of your mirror at home. I don't know, pretending to be a Looney Tunes character. Jesus Christ.
What do you think of yourself with this filter?
Good.
Do you like this better? Or do you like this one better?
I like the other one.
Why do you like this one better?
Because it's beautiful. Because my eyelashes are like this.
Alexis, sweetheart, I think you're beautiful just like this. Do you think you're beautiful the way you are?
Yeah.
This.
Oh my God, this woman. Jeez.
Do you think you're beautiful the way you are?
Yeah.
This filter needs to go. Hey, Alexis.
Oh my God. Jeez. I don't even need to hear this TikTok. Just having your kid there and using your kid like this. These are the people, man. Yeah, these are the people that, you know, if the world was still sane, she'd be getting a visit from Child Protective Services and be like, what is going on in this house? We've received information that says that there may be an abusive parent. And she's like, what? Who complained? You did, by posting this very video. I mean, you told us that you may be a danger to your child. Oh my God.
I shouldn't need a filter like this for you to listen to what I have to say. What kind of bullshit message are we sending our children? Am I right?
No, you're stupid.
Part 2 of my Target
I mean, you're smart.
2020
You're smart.
style
Sorry,
experience. I'll link back part 1 if you missed it. So I'm standing at Target the other night with my 12-year-old at 9 p.m. and this guy is harassing us because we're wearing masks. And as he is going on and
I need to meet this guy. Harassing you because you're wearing a mask. They always use words like harass, but I guarantee you what this guy did was looked over, saw this crazy lady with her rainbow hair wearing a mask when no one else was, and just went and then walked away. And then she has to come on TikTok and say, I was almost murdered for wearing a mask. And he almost raped me.
on how he knows nobody who's died from COVID, but people have had blood clots from the shot. And that I, as a doctor, am responsible personally for all these deaths and have blood on my hands.
Well, I would agree that you are to a certain extent. Obviously not all of them, but you are responsible for the people that you push it on because you also do it on TikTok. That seems self-evident. The fact that you're not aware of this is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy.
And there are 5 full-grown men watching this guy harass me and the chucker doing absolutely nothing. I turned to him and said,
Good.
I'm sorry, stranger in the middle of Target at 9 p.m. with my child. I did not ask your opinion. To which
You shouldn't be walking around at 9 p.m. and well, really anywhere. Target, I mean, you shouldn't be walking around anywhere with your child at 9 p.m. A child that age, like 7 years old? Your kid should be home in bed. What are you doing, lady?
which he said, you are going to hear this opinion and you are going to hear more of them. Be ready. I have lots of opinions. And as he went to say, I am a child, I said, correct, sir. You are acting like a child. You are correct. You are a child. Luckily, we were finished checking out at that point, and I turned to him and I said, I hope you have the day you deserve. And I also said, you don't even know why we're wearing masks. COVID or otherwise, it's none of your business. And we walked out.
We all know that this never happened. It's really strange that people tell stories like this on social media. This never happened. It's 100% never happened. Because it makes no sense at all. I'm telling you, what probably happened was a guy looked over and he sees this woman with rainbow hair wearing a mask with a kid also wearing a mask at 9 p.m. in a Target. And what he did was he looked and he went and then walked away. Didn't even say a word. And then while they were walking around, Dr. Mom over here was talking to her kid about you might as well have done this. You might as well, I mean, can you believe, I mean, like, oh, this you need to look out for. This is a bad man. And then she comes on TikTok after having built this whole story while rambling to her child, which again is sickening. And now here we are. She's worked herself up to the point where someone just giving her a look in Target is, I mean, God, look at the crazy eyes. It never fails. The crazy eyes. Gee. All right, Jessica, Miss Dr. Mom, I can only handle maybe one or two more of this and we got to move on. Damn.
I'm about to sound like July 2020.
Oh, God, I already hate it. Okay, this is going to be the last one. 2 seconds in. 2 seconds in. God. I'm about to sound like July 2020 right now. Oh, we're talking about the jerk and Target still. Oh, man, brutal.
Right now. In case you didn't know, I'm a doctor and a mom. I see kids, adults, and everything in between as a family physician. And some serious shit went down at the Target yesterday when I was there at 9 o'clock at night with my 12-year-old. See, the two of us went in innocently to go get some stuff she needed for school the next day. On went both of our masks because that's how we...
Why? Wait, am I missing? Oh, try it.
My 12-year-old. See, the two of us went...
Yeah, see, I was like, maybe she meant 9 a.m. But no, she specifically says 9 o'clock at night. And that's totally normal. She acts like let's just gloss right over that. 9 o'clock at night. You're taking your kids out to shop for school supplies? What is going on here, lady? What is going on?
Went in innocently to go get some stuff she needed for school the next day. On went both of our masks because that's how we roll in our house. Now, we are in the stage of the pandemic of a you do you, I'll do me kind of situation with these masks. So we finish shopping, we're checking out, and we're pretty much minding our own business like any good story starts. When I hear the gentleman behind me start...
I'm suspicious. You said pretty much minding our own business. Pretty much. If I was a lawyer, I'd be asking you to expand upon this. That seems like you don't want to lie, per se, but you're misrepresenting the facts right off the bat. We're keeping to ourselves, pretty much. I think we need some explanation here. Tell me about the pretty much part.
Loudly saying to the man behind him, I don't know anybody who's died of COVID, do you? But I sure as hell know people have died of the vaccination.
Never happened, by the way. Never happened.
I know multiple people have died from COVID. To which he said, who made you?
How come it always seems to be the people who are crazy about COVID? I've known 87,000 people who've died of COVID. Wow, that's a bummer, my dude. I just can't help but notice that every person who says that has these like feminist glasses on and has colored hair and has their child out shopping at Target at 9 p.m. and is some crazy overeducated white lady. That seems to be the through line. I mean, if you know a woman like this, damn, you need help immediately because you're probably going to drop dead of some imaginary thing. Not saying COVID is imaginary. That's not what I'm saying. But any other thing. I mean, you're just going to drop dead. Living a healthy life and bam. Gee. Oh, and her face. Her face, man. Yeah, I know someone who died of COVID. I mean, it happens. That's not exactly what my point is, but I also know people who died of other things too.
The authority. Well, sir, I'm a doctor. On goes a 10-minute rant as to why I am personally responsible for deaths from...
Impossible that the rant was 10 minutes. You know how long 10 minutes is in a public setting? 10 minutes? No.
COVID and related complications. On goes to how I have blood on my hands because I am clearly vaccinated and wearing a mask. Hang out for part 2. I'm about to sound like...
That's enough, Dr. Mom. Jessica, the Dr. Mom. But she's super duper smart. That's all we know. She is as she says in her own bio, board certified doctor. Super duper smart. Oh yeah, Anthony, I had COVID twice as well. I mean, that's just kind of my point. I mean, I've also had the flu many times in my life as well. It's just kind of way she goes. To quote, oh hell, the guy from Trailer Park Boys. Way she goes, boys. Way she goes. Next up, man, another amazingly smart, talented woman. She goes by Miss Misanthrope, which I think was why not just go by Misanthrope? But, sure. You're the smart one. I'm not. Her bio says progressive loudmouth. That's how you know she's smart. That's how you know.
This video is for educational purposes only. The Texas Tribune published a pretty lengthy article today about the Uvalde shooting. They went through body cam, police footage.
Oh, man. Is she really about to talk about this? Oh, man. I don't know if you've seen this footage. Man. If she's about to take this way, I think she's about to take it. I'm about to just be irate. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to wait until Friday to talk about this footage. So I'm thinking about having a living room stream so we could watch it sometime, since I missed the Saturday stream since I was out of town. But man, this is going to be brutal. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's going to surprise me. Maybe she's super smart and I'm going to have my mind changed. All right. I'm going to have to let this go, because if I interrupt it every single time she talks, we're going to be here for the next 4.5 hours. Take it away. Take it away.
Footage, transcripts of interviews with the officers, and they found out that the report released last July about the systemic failures left out a key piece of information. Officers were scared to breach the door because of the weapon that the shooter had, even though a lot of them had the same weapon.
What sticks out in my mind was the amount of smoke, gun smoke, that was inside the hallway. And I told the guys, hey, be careful, we're in the kill zone, because I knew he had shot through the walls.
I'm not going to show anything graphic. Even if I wanted to, TikTok wouldn't let me. But that officer was correct. Here's some of their discussions at the time.
You know what kind of gun? No, man, they are. He has about right for the really. What's the safest way to do this? I'm not trying to get clapped out.
You knew that it was definitely a AR 223 round. You could see the shell casings. We had no choice but just to wait and try to get something that had better coverage where we could actually stand up to him.
So they called the SWAT team, which was 60 miles away, because they had better shields.
I mean, we can only carry so many ballistic vests on you. That 223 round would have gone right through you and through the door.
I want to get the door open. What am I going to do? It might as well be paper.
We're getting scrutinized why we didn't go in there. I know what the firepower he had based on what shells I saw, the holes in the wall in the room next to his. And I know this is horrible, and I know this is what our training tells us to do, but we haven't contained. There's probably going to be some deceased in there, but we don't need any more from out here.
This also happened at the Pulse nightclub. An officer providing security there waited 6 minutes for backup because he said his handgun was no match for the shooter's rifle. Unsurprisingly, lawmakers in Texas have absolutely no interest in gun control. Ruben Torres has a daughter named Chloe, and she was injured in Uvalde. She wasn't killed, she was injured. And he says that basically, if you're going to have an AR-15, you should be required to complete training like soldiers do. Other advocates want to raise the age at which you can buy an AR-15 style rifle because this shooter, as soon as he turned 18, bought two AR-15 style rifles
stupid.
and 2,115 rounds of ammunition, and he had broken no laws. In fact, there's surveillance footage of the shooter buying the weapons, and as you can see, he breaks the cardinal rule and he puts his finger on the trigger a few times. In fact, he was so inexperienced that all of the investigators believe that the first time he ever shot a gun was when he shot his grandmother right before he went to the school. So now that we have this information that this particular weapon is so scary that even hundreds of officers with the same weapon are too scared to enter a room where somebody has the weapon.
Oh my God, I can't take any more of this. God, man. Way to miss the point. I mean, holy crap. If you haven't watched this video that they released, showing that these police officers are sniveling cowards that should be taken out back and just ended like old Yeller. The AR-15, the 223, they're there. We're in the. It's too scary to go in there. Fuck off. You signed up for this job. You're worried about. First of all, I mean, how many freaking cops were there? They didn't want to go after one kid. They were afraid. Oh, my vest won't be able to handle this. Oh yeah, let's talk about the 12-year-olds that were being executed in the next room. You fucking piece of shit. Yeah, this is about, it was the guns, they're scared of the guns. No, these are guys that should have never been police officers. At the very least, they should lose their jobs, if not end up in prison for a very, very long time. I mean, this is insane. and the fact that they put out this whole propaganda piece trying to make it about, it was the AR-15. They called it a battle rifle. He's got a battle rifle. Like, there's cops who said that. Good Lord. Like I said, I watched this today, and we'll go over this whole thing at a different time. This is not a TikTok Tuesday topic. Suffice to say, I have some opinions on this. And these amazingly smart women on TikTok, totally, who don't know anything about guns, know exactly what's going on and know exactly how to react because they're so smart. Yeah, I'm not going to finish this video. There's still like a minute left on this. We save this for a different stream.
My buddy Lefty Drywall Guy posted a video this morning talking about why people on the right have been calling us baby killers if you are pro-abortion, and why they are calling.
Remember when they used to say they were pro-choice? They're pro-choice. That one sentence in and of itself, it's pretty hard to say that you're not pro-baby killing when you just say you're pro-abortion. At least pro-choice has some ambiguity. How can you call me a baby killer? I'm just pro-abortion. Sure.
Anybody LGBTQ groomers or anybody who supports the LGBTQ community groomers. It is to dehumanize us in order to make it then okay for them to commit atrocities against us.
It happened in the 1930s. That's how they were able to round up Jews and bring them to camps.
No way, a Nazi reference?
And nobody blinked in Germany because they'd already mentally prepared people by convincing them that those people weren't 100% human. That's how slavery happened, by mentally getting people under the idea that black people weren't 100%.
And this dumbass over here. Let's real quick. Who is actually claiming that people are less than human? Is it someone who says, listen, stay away from children, okay? You're talking about sexual things. Keep it away from children, or we're going to have a problem. Or the type of people who watch The View, where The View literally calls right-wingers and women specifically who voted for Trump, calls them cockroaches. And openly advocates that right-wing politicians should be murdered. But sure. Yeah, who are the ones dehumanizing people? And not to mention every single news outlet, from CNN, MSNBC, including Fox, aside from Tucker. Fox is absolute garbage. The New York Times, the Washington Post, I mean, all of them. How have they talked about people who are right-wingers over the last, say, 6 years? How do they talk about it? Do they not call you deplorables? Do they not call you sick human? I mean, come on. They use dehumanizing language all the time. But yeah, saying, "Hey, dude, don't show pornography to my kid." Oh my God. You're advocating for a genocide. Get out of here.
He pointed out that anytime a person of color is killed by police, the first thing they do
Super
is
smart.
look up their history to try to make it seem like this person won't be missed.
They
of course.
are lifting up people like Kyle Rittenhouse because they want that kind of thing to happen more in this country, for people to take their weapons into public and take
Constitutional carry, motherfucker. Doing it every day.
take out people. And the only way that they can do that is by mentally preparing their base and saying all of these people deserve what they get.
No one's advocating for the murder of these people, but whatever.
And yesterday on his show, he said that if Donald Trump is indicted, the military and the police should execute Democratic lawmakers.
Get the military, whatever few are left, that are going to side with the people that are standing there holding candles and banging pots and pans and expressing the will of the people. That you military personnel and you people with guns and badges and law enforcement will succumb to the will of the people. And ultimately, we absolutely demand that the criminals in this country, if you want them held accountable, the criminals are Barack Obama, Eric Holder, Susan Rice, all this entire criminal cabal that came about as a result of the murder of John F. Kennedy. The people that perpetrated the murder of John F. Kennedy, rise up to that. Military, join us and put all of them up against the concrete wall, just like Ceausescu, and do what we must do to save not just our country, the entire world.
I don't know if I should read into the fact that
I would like to get some context on this. But I don't entirely disagree. But I'd have to watch the thing to actually know if I agree with him or not. But of course, the people who are calling me and people like me a Nazi, they would never advocate for us to be locked up or murdered. They're totally cool. They're chill with Nazis, man. They're totally fine with Nazis. I mean, what, you think they're saying that in a derogatory way? No, it's just a differing political opinion. They would never advocate for you to be locked up, say if you didn't want to wear a mask or if you didn't want to get a vaccine. They would never do that. They would never say that they should use the power of the police and the military to force you to do these things. And if you refuse, they'll break into your house and send you to jail. They would never do that. That would be crazy. That would be totally unreasonable. It'd be undemocratic, and they would never advocate for it ever. So I'm glad we got that under control.
Named Democratic officials that were of color Probably that was intentional. So my point, Lefty Drywall Guy, is that they're not even hiding it anymore. Because there's been no consequences. There's been no consequences for stuff like this. So why would
yeah,
they
the
stop?
right never has any
My buddy
consequences.
Lefty Drywall Guy.
Man, that was dumb as hell. I mean, that was super smart. Super smart. We're smart women of TikTok.
What's poppin'? Don't mind me just watching. Don't mind me just watching. Don't mind me just watching. Don't mind me just watching.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I am on a comment ban. Otherwise, I would have just replied to your comments. Yeah, none of their personal insults bother me in the least. I think it's funny because they can't win arguments on the merits, so they just resort to calling me like ugly and fat. And my favorite.
Your face is oddly shaped, though. I mean, that's not a normal shape for a face. And I cannot stand this music, or else I would continue this video.
Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is very upset that a child in Utah, so not even his state, was disciplined for wearing a very specific shirt. Let's have some fun. You want to guess what the shirt is? I'll give you 3 choices you can guess. Choice number 1, the shirt said, "Let's go, Brandon." Choice number 2, the shirt had the American flag on it, except the American flag was made up of assault rifles, and 2 of the guns were 69ing each other. Choice number 3, the shirt depicted Jesus riding the back of an eagle over Mount Rushmore. Alright, if you guessed number 2, you'd be right. The actual name of this shirt is called Guns and 69. Rand Paul thinks that 12-year-old should be able to wear that shirt. Keep in mind, these are the same people who think if a pride flag is in the classroom, that's indoctrination. These are the same people who are banning.
I'm gonna need a source on the shirt, but on the name of the shirt, but I don't see anything wrong with that shirt. I mean, is there let me just say, because she's comparing this to the pride flag. If you were to look at this this t-shirt, would this spark a conversation about sex? I mean, I don't think so. Maybe for a left, I don't know. Sure. I don't.
This shirt is called Guns and 69. Rand Paul thinks that 12-year-old should be able to wear that shirt. Keep in mind, these are the same people who.
What's wrong with the shirt? I just
If
don't
a
get
pride
it.
flag is in the classroom, that's indoctrination. These are the same people who are banning books. These are the same people who claim to
Which
care about
books?
the children, despite the fact.
Which books, first of all, and define ban. 2 very important points. Because the books they're banning, quote unquote, is they're removing books from elementary school, middle school, and high school that are not age appropriate, that show graphic sexual images. And ban really isn't the right word, because they just say ban. Just these people are banning books as if it's this blanket statement. You can still go buy that book at any store that carries it. That's not a ban. If you can still go buy a book, it's not banned. All right.
fact that gun violence is the number one.
I think it's her face that's driving me crazy. Why I've interrupted her more than Dr. Mom. Man, the face is, I don't know, something, it's like alien going on here. All right. I'm going to let her speak because we got to, she's super smart, progressive loudmouth. In her words, that's what she calls herself. So I'm going to shut up. Starting now.
And killer of children. Can you imagine doing an active shooter drill, standing next to a kid in that shirt? And like, no shade to this kid personally. I don't think he went out and bought the t-shirt himself. I guarantee you his parents are at the local school board meeting screaming about woke indoctrination. And now they are outraged to the point of involving senators from other states because their son was told that he couldn't wear an assault rifle t-shirt with guns 69ing each other. That is appropriate to them. But, you know, drag queens.
drag queen.
She's trying really hard to push that this shirt is sexual in some way. I don't know if this is, I would need a source on this, because I don't know where the shirt came from. It's called 69, which is a funny joke. Fine, yeah. Uh-oh, TikTok's had enough. It's TikTok is not responsive.
Kentucky.
There we. Anyway, let's actually look at it though, because again, she's really pushing this idea that it's somehow sexual, which I think is weird. But I guess I'm weird. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, so the pushing that this shirt is somehow sexual. I get it. If this is actually the name of the shirt, like this was the listing, Guns in 69, I understand it. I mean, obviously, we all get the joke here, but is this shirt sexual? And really, more importantly, she keeps saying assault rifles. Assault rifles. Do we see the weapons that are on this shirt? These are all assault rifles, ladies and gentlemen. If you wonder what they want to ban when they're talking about banning assault rifles, here you go. It means all of them. It means all weapons. Then that stupid thing she said about, can you imagine being in an active shooter situation and the kid next to you is wearing that shirt? If that was to happen, I would go, well, damn. Why is no one here armed? If anything, this shirt would remind me that, well, shit. The teacher should, something. It wouldn't make me go, oh my gosh, bro, really? You're wearing a shirt with guns on it? Assault rifles? Assault weapons? While there's someone in the school? And I'd be like, damn, can those guns come off your shirt? We should kill this guy. But yeah, she does look like she just got her tonsils removed, doesn't she? Isn't that what it's like the puffy cheek thing. It's like she's just got some dental work done or something. I don't know.
Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming.
Stupid video.
Video is for educational purposes only. I have an update on a video that I made earlier today. In case you have not seen that video, it all started when I saw this very triggered patriot.
Oh, I advise you, be careful what you wish for. Guess what? It's going to be a great battle of us, we the people, patriots who don't take any more shit anymore. So I advise you, prepare yourself, because you know what? It's not going to be funny. When you pull that shit to fucking Trump, you just violate us fucking patriots. Have fun with that battle.
Since she is the purveyor of
Man, let's never forget that there's people on our side who have this same sickness. That was crazy eyes. I've been planning on doing it for a long time. I got to do a TikTok Tuesday of cringe right-wingers because, man, there's a lot of them on TikTok too. There is. Holy crap. Calm the hell down, lady.
of truth. It seems to me that she should be able to withstand a little bit of pushback, criticism. She should be able to defend her ideas pretty easily. So I was curious why her comments were turned off and her stitches were turned off and her duets were turned off. So I made a video asking that.
And you rhinos.
Why did you turn your comments off?
Again.
And then she went ahead and made my point for me by immediately blocking me. However, that didn't stop her from making videos.
This happens across the board on social media. People love to use this as if it proves their point, but they do the exact same thing and celebrate it when their side does it. This whole thing's just stupid. This is too crazy. I mean, this is two very smart ladies having a very intellectual, intelligent conversation with one another. Women's History Month.
About me, even though she blocked me. I'm going to show you a little bit of those.
And say, why do you shut your comments? It's not shut off. It's only comments to people I follow. Because I know people like you, when I put comments on, you say nasty, disgusting comments to me.
Oh my
and
God,
other
this is
people.
annoying. I'd rather hear her explaining something.
Welcome to my office, aka the empty women's room, before my shift starts. I just want to address a very common reaction I'm getting from the Michael Cohen interview that I posted yesterday. A lot of people are saying, wow, Michael Cohen, it's really great that you're anti-Trump now, but where were you all those years that you were working for him? And you're not wrong. And a lot of you were like, Michael Cohen is only upset because he got caught. You're not wrong. However, I just want you to think about...
In that accent. And you're not wrong. Hey. Oh, no, go. Continue.
One thing. Generally speaking, if somebody fucks up and they are honestly trying to make things right and asking for forgiveness, what do we expect? We expect, generally speaking, for them to own what they did, face the consequences of what they did, and then work to make things right. That's generally what we expect. Michael Cohen admitted everything he did. He spent years in prison. He lost his law license, so his livelihood is gone. And now he's working with multiple prosecutors to put Donald Trump behind bars. Not just the Manhattan DA. He's also working with Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York. So while your criticisms are valid, I feel like if anybody deserves maybe a little bit of grace because they are doing what we expect when somebody fucks up and wants to atone, maybe Michael Cohen deserves a little bit of grace. Maybe a little bit. That's just where I'm at.
That's how it always goes, isn't it? That's how it always goes. She also has a really small mouth. The whole face thing is just, it's bizarre. It's leaving the dentist, having her wisdom teeth removed, your face is swollen, small chin already, and then a small mouth. Yeah, the chipmunk and squirrel comments are well are well deserved. But I do love that. In any other context, never would be on board with this, but no, actually it's all about forgiveness, you guys. We need to be working bullshit. Let's get some more big brain takes. Hate it already. Thank you. Hate it.
Remember, the crime that we believe Donald Trump is going to be indicted for on Tuesday is a crime that Michael Cohen already spent time in prison for. Trump was quite literally his co-conspirator. So the really good people over at Midas Touch just interviewed my...
Man, imagine saying that Midas Touch is good at literally anything. Wow. I have to remind you guys what Midas Touch is. Let's see if I can find it really quick. What the hell did I call that video? That's what I did. They're the ones that did that god awful song. Oh, where is it? God, does anyone remember? What did I call that video? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. I can't remember what it was. That god-awful song that they did, the music video, it was like a Taylor Swift parody. Oh, what the hell was it? I know it's here somewhere. I didn't even know it was a Taylor Swift parody at first because I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but... Oh, come on. I know it's here somewhere. Was it one of the cringe videos? What the hell did I call it? There it is. Yep. Weapons grade cringe. Yeah, in case you don't remember this. This is Midas Touch, and they're this is what apparently we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, these guys are great, you know? Oh man, that's brutal. So that's Midas Touch. So yeah, Midas Touch. Apparently we're supposed to believe Midas Touch is a great source, a credible source of information. Yeah. I'm still not buying it.
Michael Cohen to get his reaction, and it is so good. I'm going to play for you my favorite part.
I think he uses
he says acquisition, not acquisition.
Right? He uses the word acquisition, but the word he was looking for, the stupid moron, is accusation. I mean, this is, and by the way, in the other tweet, he spells Stormy Daniels wrong. He spells her last name wrong. Again, this is a guy with all the best words. This is the guy with the big brain, the genius. This is the guy that there are people out there who actually want to see return to the White House. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Right? I mean, this is the most disgraceful behavior by someone who wants to be president of the United States. The sexist, misogynistic, xenophobic, homophobic, Islamophobic, anti-Semitic rants by this bloviated, orange-crusted Mandarin Mussolini, narcissistic sociopath.
Man, anti-Semitic rants. Anti-Semitic rants? Dude, Trump is all for Israel. What? That's a well-documented fact. Okay.
This is who people want to come in. Is there something fucking wrong with America these days? Is there something that has just shut off in all of our lives where it's acceptable behavior?
Man, I can't imagine why anyone wouldn't want to listen to this guy. I mean, jeez. Oh, she doesn't even react after that. Okay.
So Trump just posted that he thinks he's going to be arrested on Tuesday.
Arrest the president. You got the evidence.
Can we have Hillary Clinton and put the handcuffs on him?
Huh.
Like, just for fun? Okay, seriously now. If in fact he's right and he is indicted on Tuesday, keep in mind, an indictment is not a conviction. It's like step one. I know we're all super thirsty.
Man, talk about saying that you think your audience is dumb as rocks. Just keep in mind, an indictment is not a conviction. Well, I mean, that's why they're two different words. Imagine being stupid enough to think that someone's going to put him in cuffs if he actually is indicted. I mean, imagine being this smart. This is super smart.
Seriously now, if in fact he's right and he is indicted on Tuesday, keep in mind, an indictment is not a conviction. It's like step one. I know we're all super thirsty for justice, but I just want to,
It's like step one, or it is literally step one?
You know his supporters are going to be doing some shit. They are domestic terrorists, and they have shown that they are more than willing to die for his bullshit. So just stay safe, guys.
Man, that was disrespectful as hell.
So Trump just put...
Imagine showing Ashley Babbitt in that list.
I just want to,
I just want to bring up real quick. They're domestic terrorists, and the two images she shows.
Keep it real. And second,
you know
Look at the two
his
images.
supporters are going to be doing some shit. They are domestic terrorists.
This not even showing doesn't even show anybody who's a Trump supporter in it. Just Ohio gunman appeared to threaten FBI. I mean, she's going to show the two most damning things, right? That's what you do. So appeared to, in a picture that doesn't even show any Trump supporters in it. And then the absolute balls on this woman to then show Ashley Babbitt. Damn. Wow. Holy shit. That is beyond disrespectful. I mean, wow. How would she feel if I said, yeah, you know, dumbass drug addicts, and then I just put up a picture of George Floyd? I'm trying to think of something that's not going to get me completely removed from YouTube, so that was the best I could come up with on the fly. Everything else in my head I wasn't allowed to say, but I mean, wow. Domestic terrorist, and then shows a picture of Ashley Babbitt, who was actually shot and killed. Unarmed. I mean, damn. Wow. That's something else. That's some big brain, smart lady, Women's History Month feminist stuff going on here.
Straight out of the Department of Derpy Derp, I've discovered that one of my coworkers, who is...
And just real quick, I gotta say, she's holding a microphone. Why use the microphone when it sounds like trash? I guarantee you her phone would have a better sound than this.
Conservative and in his late 40s. Before he leaves, goes into the break room and turns the break room TV onto Fox News, and then he hides the remote and leaves. And then I'm sure he drives home very proud of himself for owning the libs. Although in the grand scheme of things, his owning the libs game is quite weak. There's people out there who will die for that cause. It's funny, us libs are just like, yeah, we think that you and everybody should have better wages and better access to healthcare. And they're like, no, I'll show you, I'm gonna hide the remote. This is like the same dude who thinks there's like a constitutional right to Twitter, but not a constitutional right for abortion. If Donald Trump ends up getting indicted, look out. This guy might hide the toilet paper. Straight
Man,
out of the
what a weird video, man. that whole thing was... I'm not even sure what to say about that. Who the hell actually watches Fox News? I know that there are people out there. I get it. And what is an ivermectin influencer? I mean, this whole headline begs a lot of questions. This is like when they were having those headlines, Joe Rogan eats horse paste. Dead ivermectin influencer told followers to take cyanide to cure cancer. This is when you would think a normal person, as when you read a headline like this, a normal person would say, well, I need to know more. I need to know more about this because, I mean, do you not have any curiosity, any kind of skepticism that like, well, that is a ridiculous headline. And of course it's from Vice. Because of course it's from Vice. But what a ridiculous headline. A sane human being would read that headline and go, well, I mean, clearly that can't be the story. Right? I mean, wouldn't you would read that and go, well, I'm going to assume the opposite of this is true just right off the bat because that's absurd. I mean, even if there is some part of it that see, it even says right here. In addition to ivermectin, Danny Lemoy, whatever that is, advised his followers to eat dozens of apricot pits. So he wasn't saying cyanide cures cancer. He sounds like a dumbass who probably believes in QAnon or something like that. These are the jokes, people. These are the jokes. They make it sound like he was advocating for cyanide. I mean, you don't have a single amount of skepticism, not at all, when you read this headline? I mean, jeez. That was a roller coaster. That video was a roller coaster. The amount of smart. I wonder how many degrees this woman has. I mean, I'm sure she's probably got several. Oh. And she probably stores them in her cheeks. Had to do it.
Yesterday, I made a video about Michael Knowles. He is the talk show host who...
All right, we got to go to that video first.
I got rid of the death tax on farms so that when you do pass...
Is this the Knowles video? You said I made a video about Michael Knowles.
Fox News Alert now, and we are learning. I got rid of...
Where's the Knowles video, lady?
I'm sure you guys
there we
remember
go.
Michael Knowles. He infamously said this at CPAC a couple weeks ago.
Transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely.
Well, some video has surfaced from his college days. Apparently, he was into the...
I saw this. It's so funny that they act as if this is like a gotcha moment. Unfortunately, Michael Knowles is a thespian. Why are there theater kids literally everywhere all the time now?
dramatic arts. And he made a video where he played a gay man. I'm not going to show you all of the video because it's super boring. I'll just show you some of the stills. Here he is right here. Here he is. You can see his blue thong. Here.
And also, it's really interesting. I mean, he's obviously acting, right? They're acting as if this is like proof that he's somehow a secret queer. I think the more important thing is that why are there so many theater kids around now? I thought, if you're a fellow, actual dude, like a real dude, I thought we beat the shit out of these kids and they went away. Why are they everywhere? Across all political spectrums, just all over the place. I thought we stomped this out, all right? Man.
Here he is giving his number to the dude he just hooked up with. So in addition to what he has said repeatedly about transgendered individuals, on his talk show he routinely rails against the left for ruining masculinity. So
he was acting in his teens or early 20s. They're acting like this is a gotcha, as if they actually found a video of him having sex with another man. It's a short film. And of course, by its very nature, it's crap and it's gay. That's what short films are, all of them. They are all garbage and they're all gay as hell. That's just college short films. Look it up in the dictionary, that's what it says. Trash and gay. But sure.
It's quite curious that not that long ago he was perfectly fine, at the very least simulating being a gay man. So what to make of this? I see it as three possibilities. There might be some crossover combinations.
Oh, and let's also bring up, just real quick, she was completely willing to accept that Michael Cohen has grown and changed in his ideas, and we can't just write him off. He's grown. He's people change over time. But if you find a video or a photo of a conservative, from however long ago I don't know how old Michael Knowles is, but presumably from his late teens, early 20s, acting, This is if like he couldn't have possibly changed his opinions on this. I don't watch Michael Knowles. I think I've only watched like 2 full episodes of him. I've seen clips of him. He talks about, I've seen him talk about acting and stuff, and people change opinions on things. It's cool when Michael Cohen does it because it supports our ideology, but if it's the opposite, no one can change their mind, you guys. That's crazy. Who would ever do that?
Thereof. Possibility number 1. He has been suppressing his true feelings this whole time by lashing out against the community that he probably...
No way. One of your theories is he's secretly gay? I have never heard this before. Next thing you know, you're going to tell me, and this is, I'm just totally making this up on the fly because I've never heard this before, that if you call someone homophobic, it means that they're secretly gay. Because if they're acting homophobic, it means that they're gay. Just like an arachnophobe wants to have sex with spiders. This is, wow, this is some big brain stuff.
Probably should be a part of. That kind of stuff happens all the time. Just the latest is Matt Schlapp. He's like the chairman of CPAC, and he's being sued for sexual assault against another man. Possibility number 2, Michael Knowles is just another failed creative who never made it in Hollywood and is so bitter about it that he just spends
Don't call people a creative.
the rest of his life railing against all things that he associates with Hollywood. His boss, Ben Shapiro, wanted to be a screenwriter. Andrew Breitbart, before he died, he worked at E! Entertainment Television for a while. Steven Crowder wanted to be an actor, and Dave Rubin wanted to be a stand-up comic. And, you know, let's not talk about Scott Baio, Ricky Schroeder, all of these.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. People who have jobs in their late 20s, early 30s, and into their 40s, at one point in time, may have wanted to be a rock star, an astronaut, a firefighter, or an actor. Breaking news. This is like, this almost never happens. This is crazy. Can you imagine if you saw somebody who was a current commentator, popular commentator, who said that, yeah, I actually had several garage bands, and I wanted, you know, I used to think I was going to be able to make it as a musician. Whoa, guys. That's why they're a right-wing commentator now. They want it. It's about the spotlight, man. It's they wanted to play music. I feel like I just told my life story. That was kind of weird. But the point stands. The point stands.
Washed up actors who turn MAGA. Possibility number 3. He doesn't actually believe any of this about the LGBTQ community, but he knows that there is a market for hate, and it is an easy way to make money. Regardless, this guy can go fuck himself right into the sun, and I'm a little bit bitter that he shares a last name with Beyonce. That is unacceptable.
Oh, well, and then the last part was stupid, but then again, everything else was stupid too. But how come in the three possible things that could be going on here, he actually means it? That he actually, like, he's changed over time and he's grown as a human being, and this is where he's at now, and he's actually genuine, wasn't one of the options. That wasn't one of the ones? Okay.
Transgenders, the whole mess with that, whether or not somebody can just identify as a woman or identify as a man, and no, you can't. It's basic biology. A man has 2 X chromosomes, carries his sexual reproductive organs outside, while a female has an XY chromosome thing going on there, and they carry their reproductive organs inside, and they have the ability to either lay eggs. In the example I use is a chicken. A hen can lay eggs and a rooster cannot. The rooster is a male, will always identify.
I mean, he's not wrong, but he's speaking in a rather sloppy way, which I know a thing or two about. I mean, look at his hair and his beard, like how scruffy he's looking. I mean, he's as a man with well, no one believes you when you talk about how big your own beard is, but I keep it nice. His is looking a little scraggly. This is probably after 18 shots of whiskey, so got your back, brother. We know what you meant. We know what you meant. You might have got it wrong, but we know what you meant. Oh, hey, it's the thing that I talked about on Friday's stream. The gun room.
Yeah, no, they were bragging about it. That's what that video was.
Hey, this is the actual video that I showed on Friday.
It's that easy. Each one of those bulletproof pop-up classroom shelters, each one of them, cost $60,000. Let's just...
Damn, I was complaining because I thought they were going to be several thousand. I have a feeling that we're going to agree that these are stupid, but we're probably going to disagree on why.
Just be real. We're doing this because Republicans love NRA money more than they love the lives of children.
In
fact, I'm starting to think that they despise children. Because just this week, I have done videos about Republicans in Arkansas loosening child labor laws, Republicans in Oklahoma allowing teachers to hit kids with disabilities, Republicans in Minnesota arguing against feeding kids.
Hunger is a relative term, Mr. President.
And that's all in addition to things that we already know about the Republicans.
Well, I don't even know the whole context of that. I don't even know what that clip is, but he's absolutely 100% right. I mean, if you remember that amazing 16-year-old girl from the Friday stream, hunger is going to mean something wildly different to her than it does to me. That's just a fact of life, okay? That's absolutely.
Like if a child is raped, she should have to give birth to her rapist's baby. So the fact that they are budgeting $60,000 per classroom to put kids into a pop-up shelter to supposedly shield them from gunfire, rather than do anything about guns or access to mental health care, it's pretty on brand. I don't know. I don't know why the GOP hates kids so much.
Yeah, that's man. The big brains here. The big brains here are fantastic. So that brings us to our first vote of the night. We are gonna have 2 votes tonight, and then a third for the finals. So 3 votes, 2 tiers, gonna result in the final vote about who is the smartest TikTok lady. So, of course, this is not facetious in any way. These are all beautiful and brave women who, well, it's Women's History Month. So, we're appreciating the brilliance of these women, and that's how they're presenting themselves. So I'm choosing to go with it. These, one's a doctor, one's a progressive who seems to understand the world and knows exactly what she's talking about. So, who is the smartest? Right? Okay. Dr. Mom, who was the first one that we had there. Miss Rainbow Hair. She's obviously very, very, very smart. I mean, you can just see it in her eyes. Oh, very, very, very smart. Dr. Mom or Misanthrope here with her chipmunk face. I mean, whatever you want to call it. So, Dr. Mom or Misanthrope for tier 1. I I just hang on. I misspelled it because I'm a dumb male. That's just what happens. That's why I'm not a smart woman of TikTok. So, round 1. Fight. Yes, and of course, while you are placing your votes for the smartest woman of TikTok, don't forget to super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Vic. Man, Misanthrope is coming in. It's not even close. That's pretty impressive. I thought for sure Dr. Mom was going to make it all the way to the final round, but looks like that's not going to be the case. %86% of the vote. And you know what I think is we really what we got to discuss here is that basically what you're saying with this vote is that Dr. Mom is smarter than Misanthrope, that's probably the only time that Dr. Mom's ever had that happen. But I will not argue with the poll. Not at all. All right, Vic, super chat jukebox. Let's see what you get.
The Chinese virus. The Chinese virus. Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Well, the Kung flu. The Chinese virus.
The Kung flu. All right, I think that's it. I think we're going to call it round 1. Oh, man. Dr. Mom got a vote right under the wire. Misanthrope gets 75% of the vote. This winning round 1 of the Smart Women of TikTok Battle Royale. Honestly, it's impressive. Well done. All right, coming up next. I'm not even sure how to describe this, so I'm just gonna again read the profile. So this is I don't even know how to, I think this is Chris, but spelled with a Y instead of an I. Chris. I guess. CHRYS. So Chris, but with a Y. I hate it already. But the bio says, for queers and modern gals, bitter black feminist, comedy, chaos, and social justice. And if that wasn't enough already to make you think that, well, we've got a clear winner. I mean, damn. That was a lot just in a few words. Let's find out. Let's find out if she can steal the crystal TikTok tiara from Misanthrope. Take it away, Chris.
So I have a riddle that I need you guys to help me solve. This is Sierra. Sierra is married to Russell. Sierra wore a dress that she likes and that looks great on her body and goes with the theme of the event. And Russell, her husband, was next to her posing at that event. So the riddle is, if Sierra was comfortable in that dress and her husband was comfortable going out with her in that dress, why do a bunch of strangers on the internet feel compelled to tell a woman what she's allowed to wear based on y'all's standards for her marriage? That's what I can't stand about you old school traditional motherfuckers. If you virtuous women want to be modest, if you want a husband that tells you what to wear, if you have to be led to be loved, then go find that. And if you Kevin Samuel like, I'm a man so you must obey me as men, want a woman that is modest and that lets you dictate what she wears, then go find one. But why do y'all spend so much time telling every woman and wife in the world, including celebrities, what they're allowed to wear? Oh, she has no self-respect. She's a mother. That is the same wife and mother in both of these photos. How does just one determine how she values herself and her family? Controversies like this are why y'all better be glad that I'm not.
I mean, man, it's I'm not talking about how she values her family. I mean, she can still value her family, but let's just roll this back real quick. So, and stay with me here. She censored one of these photos and not the other. She did that. Huh. What does that say about what she thinks, Chris, the author, thinks about these? I mean, she censored it. If this is totally on the up and up, why did you do that? That's practice what you preach. I mean, damn. It's totally fine. And, oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. This is what your super chats pay for. The enhance, all right? God, we got to check this out. I don't know if anyone else noticed this. If you want to talk about, she's saying, the husband's there, he's totally fine with it. Let's check this out real quick. Let's look into this. Look at his face. Here. Look how happy he looks. Dude's grinning from ear to ear. Got his kids and his wife around him. Looks like a happy man. Now, to the beautiful and brave woman picture where apparently he's just totally cool. I mean, he's a progressive man. Oh, well. Now that is a noticeably different expression, I would say. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. It seems like there might be some, maybe Chris is not 100% correct about this, but sure.
both of these photos, how does just one determine how she values herself and her family? Controversies like this are why y'all better be glad that I'm not a celebrity. Because if I was Sierra, my next outfit would be a dress made completely out of x-ray images of my twat and ass so y'all knew the inside looked just as good as the outside. Have a good day. So I have a riddle that I need you.
Man, that's a beautiful and brave woman right there that would do that.
Your titties are not saggy. They just don't defy gravity. I don't know what thick woman needs to hear this, but I ain't never opened no legs and been scared or turned off by a fupa or some dark inner thighs. The fupa got ate too. It is truly wild that body hair.
Wait, so she's a lesbian? I mean, I guess I should have known she was a lesbian, because isn't that what it said? Let me see. Well, for queers and modern gals. So I guess we should have known. I don't know if I didn't know if she was just, an activist, an ally. So let's see if we can finish this and not throw up.
Your titties are not saggy. They just don't defy gravity. I don't know what thick woman needs to hear this, but
Oh, come on, Vic. You talking about Antoine? Was it Antoine Dodson? He's straight now and found Jesus. No joke. That's a real thing. That's a real thing that happened. I think he's got like 3 kids or something. Like 2 kids. I could be wrong, but I'm like 85% sure, 90% sure that's a real thing. But no, I get it. That's a good joke. It does actually look exactly like him.
But I ain't never opened no legs and been scared or turned off by a fupa or some dark inner thighs. The fupa got ate too. It is
We're just
truly
gonna
wild
brush
that
past the
body
fact that
hair
there's
has
a
to be
term for a
normalized
fat
on
ass
women,
belly called a
being
fupa.
as though it's body hair. The hair that grows out of our bodies naturally. The fact that some women brag about having a pretty coochie means that the conditioning has worked. It's an organ.
Why is this woman here talking about natural hair as if it's like the, great standard? It's natural hair. Look at your hair, lady. What are you talking about? I see you're not a fan of natural hair. I mean, good Lord. I guess your hair just naturally changed colors. Sure.
That sometimes produces people. It ain't gotta look like Halle Bailey. If we're going to normalize stretch marks, then it needs to be these two. These, the ones that our mamas got bringing us here, not just the cute ones on the side of the ass. Natural bodies are only back in style on social media when y'all want to shame women that get BBLs. Any other time, we're sharing unflattering photos of celebrities and calling people bad built. I hope I live long enough to see the day that Black people stop using the term good hair. Because I don't give a fuck what those white folks indoctrinated us with. Ain't no hair better than mine because it's wavy. Your titties.
Well, you didn't like your hair? That is not natural hair. I can't believe that there's honestly people out there who really are like actually involved in the culture. Like it in modern pop culture. It blows my mind. It really blows my mind.
As I'm sure you guys can tell, I talk a lot about reproductive justice on my platform. And y'all should also realize that I love Black women. So I want to highlight 5 organizations that are pivotal in the fight for reproductive justice and that center Black women and queer folk specifically. First up, we have Black Women for Wellness. This organization is dedicated to the success and well-being of Black women. That's emotional, physical, financial, and otherwise. Next, we have the AFIA Center. Based in Texas, the AFIA Center is dedicated to aiding the fight for reproductive justice, as well as addressing the disproportionate rates of HIV and AIDS in the Black community.
Oh, sure. She can bring it up. I bring it up. I'm racist. So I'm just gonna leave that there. No, it's It's fine. It's fine.
Number 3 is Spark. Based in Atlanta, Spark focuses on pushing for reform in leadership, policy, and culture. Number 4 is Sister Song. This organization aims to uplift Black and Indigenous voices specifically so that we can stand on the front lines of an issue that is always going to affect.
What do Black and Indigenous have to do with each other? I mean, really? Because I don't know what they say about it, but I mean, what? It's this weird crap where, like, a Black person living in the Bronx thinks that they have something in common with someone living in South Africa. Like, they think they have something in common with a Nigerian. No, you don't. And actually, they'll probably think you're a degenerate piece of shit. But sure, it's the Black and Indigenous people. We share so much. It's well, what do you share? Well, we're not white. Well, that's true. I mean, that is true. Not sure the rest of it is true, but sure.
Thus disproportionately. And lastly, we have the National Birth Equity Collaborative. That was a tongue twister. Their mission is to address matters of inequity facing Black parents and children, including the disproportionate maternal mortality rate of Black women. As I'm sure you guys can tell, I talk a lot about reproductive justice.
Okay.
Good morning to Black women and Black women only. Black women that wear their bonnets and...
All right, guys, we gotta skip past this video. It's for Black women only. No, let's do it. I identify as a Black woman today.
Public. Black women that were on the step team in middle school. Black women who remembered to take their meds today. Black women with an apostrophe in their name. Black women who got called fast before they even hit puberty. Black women that are knock-kneed, bow-legged, or slew-footed. Black women with any of these aesthetics. Black women with hyperpigmentation. Black women that are athletes. Black women that are sex workers. Black women in academia. Black women that speak more than one language. Black women with at least one degree they don't use. Black women that are queer. Black women that are queer but don't know it yet. Disabled Black women. Black women with big noses, lips, and hips. Black women that live in the projects. Black women that wear both Chanel perfume and Bath and Body Works. Black women who throw Christmas and Thanksgiving at their house every year. My mama. Lastly, Black women who don't want to be a strong Black woman or a soft life divine feminine. We just want to be left the fuck alone. Good morning to Black women.
I don't even know what the point of that video was at all. I have no idea what we just watched. All right, cool.
I'm going to tell a truth that may ruffle some feathers, so
I'm ready.
The only group in society that is trying to force asexuality onto children is cis heterosexual conservatives. Y'all are...
yes. I love how they always do these things where they go, I'm about to ruffle some feathers. This is going to be an unpopular opinion. I'm about to speak some truth to power. And then they say the exact same shit that every single person... And from every single mainstream media outlet, every single movie, film, TV show, whatever in Hollywood, every single musical artist, every single government agency, every single multinational government agency, from the World Economic Forum to the World Health Organization, everyone agrees with. I'm about to ruffle some feathers. Really? Let's just do a quick thought experiment real quick. What would happen if you were to come out and say publicly on social media or anyway, somewhere where people could see it, if you were to come out and say, I believe that homosexuality is wrong. What would happen to you? And, okay, what would happen if you came out and said, conservatives are groomer pedophiles who are pushing a sexuality on children? Conservatives. which one do you think would be met with pushback or vitriol as far as the, overwhelming response from all of media, government, multinational corporations, everything? It's not the person who says they hate conservatives and say... But sure, let's ruffle some feathers by saying everything that every corporation told me to think and Klaus Schwab wanted me to think. Let me ruffle feathers by saying what trillions of dollars have been spent to make me say on the world stage. Look out, you guys. I'm a rebel.
The ones that have attached gender and sexuality to the most innocent things in society, including what toys your sons are allowed to play with. Y'all are the ones funding conversion camps where queer children are sent to be abused. Y'all are the ones passing laws based on your religious beliefs.
Anymore, by the way.
And all the while making drag queens the scapegoat while doing nothing about the actual threats to children in this country. We are not trying to expose children to homosexuality to sexualize them. We just recognize that people don't just wake up on their 18th.
Usually they argue. This is how it always works, right? They move the argument. They kick the can down the road, right? Usually they argue, we're not trying to expose your kids to homosexuality. She just said that they are trying to. I love how this. They are. It's always it's a shift, right? Kick the can down the road. Keep it going. They used to say we're not explaining who we are. We're not exposing the children to these sexual orientations. We're not doing. That's not what we're doing.
About the actual threats to children in this country. We are not trying to expose children to homosexuality to sexualize them.
That was an admission that, yes, we are trying to expose children to homosexuality, but we're not doing it to sexualize them, which is a hell of a thing to say when, by your own admission, the thing you're trying to expose them to has sexuality in the word. We're not exposing children to homosexuality to sexualize them. Huh? What? So they used to claim the opposite. We are not. They just leave it there. We're not exposing your children to homosexuality. We're just teaching them to be accepting. We're not actually talking to them about homosexuality. This woman's just saying, no, we are not exposing them to homosexuality to sexualize them. Which means, no, we are exposing them to homosexuality, but not about sex? Okay.
We just recognize that people don't just wake up on their 18th birthdays and decide what sexual orientation they are. There are gay children too. Children that already face higher rates of bullying, suicide, substance abuse, trafficking, and homelessness, which is a direct result of living in a society that ostracizes them. Yeah. There are also straight children who have gay parents or peers that they will be exposed to, whether y'all teach them about homosexuality or not. So I say all this to say that y'all's desire to keep homosexuality away from children is compromising the well-being of actual children. You motherfuckers find age-appropriate ways to explain divorce, death, sickness, marriage, reproduction, saving money, religion, and even kidnapping to children. The only reason y'all refuse to understand that the same thing can be done for homosexuality is because y'all are the ones with the agenda. I'm going to
Man, that was so big brain. This might be the smartest woman I've ever seen, because that was one of the most incoherent things I've ever heard. She is so smart that all sounded like bullshit. And that's how you know someone's smart. That's how you know. That is absolutely how you know. I like how she's acting as if you don't even want to do. You teach kids. I mean, like, we're not sexualizing them. You're sexualizing them. And then she says, you will find adult or child appropriate ways to talk about. And then she lists all these things. And one of them, if you noticed, was reproduction. And she's saying that, but we won't find child appropriate ways to explain sexuality. But she just said reproduction. I mean, reproduction is sex. And you just said there are child appropriate ways to explain some of this stuff. Why is there? Why does there seem to not be a child appropriate way to explain the other thing? Reproduction, she's putting in a category as if it's not sexuality, which compared to those other things, I would certainly say it's not in the same category at all. But even she admits they're in a different category. So shouldn't they be treated different? I don't know. I just know she's too smart for me. That was brilliant stuff.
Most of us know that racism is both a mindset and a system.
Yes, we do. 100% slay queen.
But how many of us
Preach.
understand that it
Church.
is a threat to public health?
Oh,
It's
wow.
not a disease, but it's an epidemic nonetheless. Throughout history, we've seen both a blatant disregard and calculated attacks on the health of black and brown people. During segregation, when separate but equal really meant providing black people with the most inadequate resources, healthcare included, to the experimentation of black bodies, from injecting us with syphilis to performing hysterectomies.
Few things. So right off the bat, separate but equal. It's her people who advocate for that now. We literally have colleges that currently have segregated graduations because it's her type, not the black, oh, you're racist, this woke smart lady stuff, right? Is why we have segregated graduations at colleges. But when it happened back in the day, separate but equal, bad news, brother. Bad news. Nowadays, totally fine. Because what we're doing is separate, but it's actually equal. Because before they were just saying it. They were just saying it was equal. It wasn't really equal. Nowadays, we're saying separate but equal, which is different from separate but equal. But in our case, it actually is equal as long as they're separate. Brilliant. And apparently, she has a problem with hysterectomies, which I find hilarious because I would love to hear her opinions on transgenderism and the use of hysterectomies on teenagers for gender affirmation, whatever they call it. I'm willing to bet she's not going to bring this same opinion to that. It was horrific when it was done a long time ago, but it's just like separate but equal. Separate but equal back then, bad news. Don't like it, not cool. Separate but equal now, 100%. I'm here for it. Sign me up. Exactly what we need. Logic.
Without our consent. In the present day, the attacks are not as blatant, but they still exist. Due to medical racism and inadequate care, black mothers are 3 times as likely to die during childbirth. Studies show that both black and Hispanic people are more likely to not be believed when we have a health concern.
Really?
We're also less
Really? Is that
likely
what
to
it
be
is? Is
administered
that what it
pain
is?
medication due to the erroneous and common belief that black people feel less pain. Due to wealth gaps caused.
What? You've got to let me know in the chat right now. Have you ever once in your entire life heard that black people feel less pain than white people? What? Damn. Every time I get on TikTok, I think I have heard the craziest shit I'm ever going to hear. And then you hear something like this. Am I missing the context here? I mean, holy shit.
Pain medication due to the erroneous and common belief that black people feel less pain. Due to
The common belief that black people feel less pain. Holy hell. What? Oh my God. That's it. This woman is the smartest woman of TikTok. I mean, I don't think we can even argue. Let's scrap the rest of the votes. I mean, jeez. That can't be a thing. That cannot be a thing that anyone has ever said or even postulated. Or at least, if it was, say that if you were to tell me that there was someone in 1786 who was some physician somewhere, where like one guy wrote a paper claiming that black people didn't feel pain the same way as I would believe that, like as like there was one guy who wrote it, but she just said it was a common belief. I'm going to Google this right now. Black people feel less pain. I'm not finding this. Oh, here we go. NPR. Oh, no. Scroll down. This from 2013. Study finds whites think black people feel less pain. No, that's impossible. This typical NPR, man. I could even go and talk to the most racist person I've ever met in my entire life. A guy who actually has, or used to have, SS hooks tattooed on his neck, an actual former neo-Nazi guy who was in prison who blacked out all his tattoos because he's not a neo-Nazi anymore. I guarantee you, if I went and asked him about this, he would say, what? I never even thought. What? Oh, man. Black people feel less pain, huh? Oh, and so this isn't even an article. This is two people talking. And he makes a claim. So there's not even actually a study involved here. So so apparently this is not the first person to say this. See, here we go again. A ludicrous yet common belief that black people have a higher pain tolerance than whites. What? This isn't a common belief. I'm sorry. If I'm having to look this stuff up and having to go through to the second page of Google, this is not a common belief. Oh, man. And every time I try to scroll through these supposed articles about this, it's all talking about 19th century slave owners, and it's all these where it sounds like a novel. Where I go, this is from the New England Journal of Medicine. It's written like a novel, not a study. A black doctor, thank God, he said, breathing shallowly when I introduced myself as a student doctor who would be taking care of him. Please, I need you to listen to me. Instantly, my duties shifted from conducting a history and physical to advocating for equitable health care. Wow, these people are dumb as rocks. And apparently their whole basis for this is that, like I said, somebody from, perpetuating 19th century slave owner Dr. Thomas Hamilton's fallacy that our skin is thicker. Like I said, there was somebody at one point in the 19th century, so the 1800s, this is exactly what I just said, right? I wouldn't be surprised if there was like some guy as a doctor, slave owner, who claimed that black people they don't feel as much pain, and like published it somewhere, and they use that now in 2023 to say that the commonly held belief amongst white people that black people don't feel pain. Has anyone even heard of this? I've never heard of this. I had to look that up. Wow. Man, that was ridiculous. What a rabbit hole to fall down. I'm going to have to read more about this because it's hilarious.
The wealth gaps caused by institutionalized racism were also less likely to have health insurance and more likely to live in areas that are deemed unsafe. So when we talk about racism on this app or any other platform, I just want to make sure we're very clear on how deep it runs.
Yeah, it runs so deep that you're still believing something from late 1800s. You're too smart for me, ma'am. It's too
I am
smart
back
for
to
me.
test your knowledge on queer sexual health because with the wave of
Oh, believe me, I am well versed in queer sexual health. Got it. Let's go.
anti-queer legislation in this country, you might not get that shit nowhere else. Primarily used by sapphic couples, but anyone can use one. What is a dental dam? A reservoir where queer women...
Well, I know what a dental dam is, but I actually sapphic couples? I'm not familiar with that word, but I'm assuming the definition of it based on what we're talking about. Okay. I've actually not heard that term before. Let's say from context clues, I'm getting the meaning, but I guess I'm not as knowledgeable on queer sexual health as I thought I was. Who would have thought?
But anyone can use one. What is a dental dam? A reservoir where queer women go to get freaky. B, an object that is inserted into the mouth to generate saliva. C, an object someone uses to clean the teeth and mouth after performing that slappy toppy. Or D, a thin layer of latex or polyurethane that gets laid across the pussy pot pie or the booty hole for safe oral activity.
Oh, I can't believe people talk like this.
I am back to test your knowledge on queer sexual health because with the way... I have a few questions for the black folk who believe that there's an agenda to emasculate the black man. First question. Y'all do know that feminine black men exist, right? They are not some new invention that white queer media created in 2015. They exist and have always been here. So being that black men are not a monolith, why do y'all expect traditional masculinity to be the image of each and every last black man? Why should black men who are fluid in their presentation be robbed of representation because y'all allow the racial construct and the gender construct to battle for which one done fucked us up the most? We get rightfully disgusted when white people pigeonhole black men by saying that they only act or present one way. So why argue that black men can only exist on public platforms in one way or else there's an agenda? And by the way,
I'm so tired of hearing this type of argument. I don't know why. We've been coming across this a lot recently on TikTok Tuesday and on the Friday show, on the Saturday streams. Is this ridiculous thing. So she's not providing any actual argument. What she's saying is, you do know that effeminate men exist, right? That's all she's saying. That's her whole argument, is that effeminate men exist. Yes. Everyone knows that. Yes, I'm very well aware of that. Now that we've established that, can we go back to the original question? It's like the crazy lady, that crazy white woman who was talking about, I feel like if you just go to other countries, you wouldn't have this opinion. Okay, I've been to other countries. I've probably been to more countries than you have, and I don't have this opinion. Now what? Now what's the argument? Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware that Prince exists. I'm aware of these things. And most black men are also aware of these things. That doesn't address what the question was. The question was about, and I love how she had to make it about effeminate white men making black men effeminate, which is weird in its own way. But that doesn't address the point. of why is this being pushed now more than masculine? I mean, right? Isn't that the question? Is like, so an effeminate man, though he exists, there are people who exist and have always been effeminate men. Doesn't change the fact that that's not the normal common state for a man to be. And pushing it on people, especially I guess we're talking about here black men, but it just men in general in the United States, is an issue because you're pushing it now. And then when you go, why are they pushing it so much? The argument is, well, you do know that effeminate men exist, right? Yes, I am very well aware of that. Now, can we address my original question? Because I don't think it's healthy to push this on such a scale onto men in general. I don't think it's healthy. Yeah, but aren't you aware of Prince? Don't you know Prince was a person and he existed and he was effeminate and black? Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not arguing that. Back to what I said. No, but don't you know that effeminate men exist? Okay, we're going in circles here now. But sure, the existence of something at all proves that it has value and it is inherently good in general, which I would disagree with, but that appears to be the argument here, even if she's not able to break it down to that level. That appears to be the argument. Don't agree with it. I generally don't think the existence of rattlesnakes makes the poison that they inject in you when they bite you good, but it does in fact exist. Absolutely true. Definitely true. Continue, Chris. Thank you.
Have always been here. So being that black men are not a monolith, why do y'all expect traditional masculinity to be the image of each and every last black man? Why should black men who are fluid in their presentation be robbed of representation because y'all allow the racial construct and the gender construct to battle for which one done fucked us up the most? We get rightfully disgusted when white people pigeonhole black men by saying that they only act or present one way. So why argue that black men can only exist on public platforms in one way, or else there's an agenda? And by the way, what is the motive behind this agenda? Because societally, black women and men are characterized as aggressive, threatening, and masculine. That is the very reason why Officer Oink Oink can kill an unarmed black person and claim that he who has a gun was in fear for his life. Due to institutionalized racism and bias, there are more black men under correctional control than there were enslaved in certain parts of the 1800s. But y'all are scared of femininity taking black men out of their communities. Show your work.
So smart. I mean, the smartness. The smart lady energy is coming off of this. Is just, I mean, happy Women's History Month. I mean, damn. I'm kind of hoping that Chris wins TikTok Tuesday so I can maybe break down one of these videos. But hey, Misanthrope also deserves it. And on that note, we are going to now shift. We have Jackie here, who is going to be competing against Chris. So let's see. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not entirely sure that Jackie is actually a woman. Could be... could possibly be a dude that has some like Asian and or like Latin American something mixed in. Not sure. It doesn't appear to be clear. I'm gonna go with this as a woman, but could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I should, when I read these bios to you guys, I should also give you the follower accounts because it is crazy. So up next, Jackie. All it says in her bio is, I have many thoughts. Super deep. And followers, 373.1 thousand. Her most recent video has 1.7 million views. Damn. She's gotta be smart. Gotta be smart. All right, let's hit it. Jackie, let's see what you got.
Y'all, you know Bad Bunny's ex, you know, the one that he's written all of these songs about, Carlis? Yeah, she's suing him for using her voice without her authorization. If you didn't know, this is Carlis de la Cruz Hernandez, and she dated Benito between 2011 and 2016. They had a very serious relationship to the point where they had a wedding date set, but they broke up 2 months before.
Wait, is this a real thing? There are people who actually... I don't even know who these people are, but I mean... I feel like I'm watching TMZ. What year is this? No, we're skipping this. This has 1.7 million views. Okay. All right, since it's got 1.7 million, let's finish it. Clearly, she's smart. 1.7 million. 1.7 million views, and it was posted today. This has 1.7 million views in less than 24 hours. We're only 19 seconds in, and I feel like I'm about to have a brain aneurysm already. Okay. Tell me more about these people that I've never heard of and how I should care about this. Okay.
Before that. And fun fact about Carlis, she went to law school and is now a lawyer. And on March 1st, Carlis filed a lawsuit against Benito, his managers, and Rimas Entertainment. And she's suing due to copyright image rights, moral rights, and damages. She claims that her voice was used without her consent in the songs Pa Ti and 2016. You know the iconic Bad Bunny baby? Yeah, that's Carlis' voice, which she alleges that she recorded back in 2015 on her cell phone per Benito's request. You know, when they were still together and about to get married? So back then, while Bad Bunny was trying to get his career to take off, they both agreed that adding baby to the end of his name would make it more original. And when Benito asked her to record it, she went to her friend's bathroom and recorded the voice note, Bad Bunny baby. Then in May of 2016, Benito and Carlis break up and Benito signs to Rimas Entertainment. Then Pa Ti comes out and Carlis hears her voice, but she doesn't say anything. But then on May 3rd of 2022, 3 days before the release of Un Verano Sin Ti, a representative of Rimas Entertainment, Benito, and his manager reaches out to Carlis, and they offer her $2,000 for them to be able to use her voice on his new album. Of course, she doesn't accept because what is that number? And she asked them to make her another offer and to give it to her in writing. They were still under negotiations hours before the album dropped, and Carlis says that his team was pressuring her to sign the agreement. But she refused, the album dropped, and her voice was included without her consent or without an agreement.
Oh man, we're not even at the end of this video. I can't do it. Everyone involved in this, Jackie and everyone else, I mean, every single person that she mentions in this, straight to jail. Straight to jail. Holy crap. How do these people, who are obviously so moronic, I can't even find words to explain to you how stupid these people are. I mean, this is... Holy shit. Wow. And the amount of money that's getting thrown around for these people. These people are barely smart enough to dig ditches. I mean, holy shit. What a backwards what a backwards time we live in the United States. Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, this is exactly what it is. Google and Meta were threatened by TikTok, and so that's why they collaborated to get TikTok banned. I mean, Meta tried everything to try to copy TikTok's success, and it just couldn't. They went as far as to create Instagram Reels, but it just didn't compare. And what ended up happening is everybody just posted their TikToks on Reels. And so since they couldn't copy or compare to TikTok, the next best thing was just to completely ban their competition. And it's just really sad that that's where we're at right now. American companies who feel threatened by a foreign company can just lobby and fearmonger our politicians and get their competition banned. It really sucks, and I hope that TikTok doesn't get banned, but if it does, we're just going to build our community somewhere else. But for the meantime, my username is the same across all social media platforms, so if you want to stay connected, feel free to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm in the process of starting a podcast, so if you want to see that, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Oh, man. So smart. so smart.
Yeah, this is exactly what it is. So here we are, it's still in the first steps, and it feels very familiar to when Trump tried to do this, but it's looking like the Biden administration is actually serious. And the reason is because of Meta and Google's successful bashing campaign of TikTok. They hired a lobbying company to show our politicians just how dangerous it is to have such a big social media platform be owned by a Chinese company, because they could be stealing all of our data. Meta.
Oh, man. God, it's just nails on a chalkboard, man. Oh, to hear someone speak with such confidence in their voice while being so stupid. Holy crap. Just because they could be stealing our data. Could be? I mean, they might. I mean, holy crap. Jesus. God. This woman right here is exactly the reason why China made TikTok. Because she's just so smart and they want to mine her deep thoughts from TikTok because she's so smart. That's what they need. Man. Oh, and look at this awesome person in the comments down here. U.S. Army overlords. Step 1, boycott Meta. Step 2, set up a VPN TikTok account now. Oh. It's just painful. Isn't there a way we can just ship all these people to China? I mean, the people who are just like, oh my gosh, you don't trust China? You think they're stealing our data? Which they admit that's what they're, I mean, we know that's what they're doing. Oh, you don't like them? Yeah, I don't. If you like them so much, get the fuck out of here and go to China. Go to China and see how many of you end up in camps with the Uyghurs, and you talk to me. You talk to me about how great it is in China.
I thought you were kidding! I thought it was a joke! I even wrote it down in my diary!
No, I did watch the rest of your video, but I chose to ignore it because you decided to question people's Latinidad on whether or not they decided to be inclusive. Because you said people who use...
You know for a fact that anyone who decides to push an accent in the middle of a sentence is full of shit immediately. Or alternatively, because it's Women's History Month, is incredibly smart and knows exactly what they're talking about.
Use the term Latinx are no Sabo kids who
Latinx.
don't speak Spanish and they drink spa water.
Oh, so you want to say that people who say Latinx are bad people? No, it's totally natural. Natural delivery. Absolutely. Completely natural delivery.
They eat flat tacos. And that doesn't even make sense because the entire community, including No Sabo kids, was upset when white European Americans tried to gentrify.
And it keeps getting worse. I gotta hear that again. The tacos. Tacos part.
And they eat flat tacos. And that doesn't even make sense.
I gotta let it roll a little bit before that. And they eat flat tacos. Dude, who does that? Right.
and they drink spa
No
water
accent, no
and
accent.
they eat flat tacos. And that doesn't
And
even
then-
make sense.
Tacos. And then they eat flat tacos. To further this, get out of town. Get out of town. They eat flat tacos. If you guys missed the Daily Late Night Tonight show with Jasmine Torres, you need to check it out because this is literally what I was making fun of. This is exactly what I was making fun of. Well, hello, thank you for being here tonight. And what is your name? Oh, Jasmine Torres. Oh yeah, we're down here eating flat tacos. Get out of town.
It's because the entire community, including Los Sabo kids, was upset when white European Americans tried to gentrify aguas frescas and tostadas by calling them spa water and flat tacos. So at this point, we all know that when people like you call somebody a no Sabo kid within our community, that's you questioning their Latinidad because they don't speak Spanish. And that's complete BS when we all know that there are millions of people in Latin America who don't speak Spanish. But the most infuriating thing about videos like this is that you're saying that our entire community is anti-inclusion and homophobic. And if you use gender inclusive terms, then you're not one of our community. And not only does that erase the millions of queer people within.
I mean, from this picture, this guy looks like one of the queer community. But is he accidentally based? I gotta see the video, man. Because it sounds like he's 100% right.
In our community, you call our entire community bigoted just like you. And that's not right. No, I did watch the rest of your video, but I...
Yeah.
You a definition.
Oh, here we go. Here's the guy. I say I think he looks like he's a part of the queer community, but could be wrong. Could be wrong. I look like a liberal, you know? So judge a book by its cover, but also be ready to change your opinion, you know, once you start talking to a person. That's my philosophy.
You a definition. Anyone who identifies as Latinx is a no Sabo kid.
I feel like this guy makes the same video every couple of months when his views are low. And it's given the same energy of the people who say, my pronouns are kiss and my and as. Every time the ignorant homophobic side of our community eats it up. I mean, look at all the likes it has. And I guess that's just the audience he wants to build, you know, like those machistas, those homophobes and transphobes who don't believe that LGBTQI people should exist or should be seen. He just hides his bigotry behind like, it's just comedy, it's funny, bro. Well, you're not even funny.
Hell no. I would be surprised if he was saying this was comedy. It sounds like what he's saying is that no one who's actually in that world or from there would ever use, you know, what it's actually called, Latinx. And he's right about that. But we got this fat young man here who, he learned better from Whitey, by the way, in college. That's where this comes from. It doesn't come from your culture. It comes from overeducated white women in college. But talk to me more about bigots and colonization and the evils of the white man while you talk about Latinx.
That LGBTQI people should exist or should be seen. He just hides his bigotry behind like, it's just comedy, it's funny, bro. Well, you're not even funny because if you were, you would have way more followers. But anyways, the term Latinx originated in Latin America, in Brazil, by black women who were protesting the patriarchy.
No, it didn't.
The term Latinx
Literally,
has been used in Latin America since the 80s. So don't let these bigots erase the fact
Not
that
even
black
close.
women in Latin America created...
This is like the people who claim that Native Americans had two spirits, and two spirit means transgender. And since it's Native American, that means it's been around since the dawn of time. And you go, huh, that's interesting. Let me look that up. Oh, it was made up by some queers in the 90s. And I'm allowed to say queers now. You know, I feel like whenever I say it, it comes across as it's being insulting. No, it was literally made by some queers in the 90s because that's how they identify themselves. Never forget, Swamp, the respecter of identities. Always. I've been calling him queer since I was 12. And that was not cool then, but I'm allowed to call it now because they took it back. They took the word back. It's like the N-word. You're allowed to call them queers now. That's just how it is. But yeah, no way in hell. This is the problem. Is this like appeal to authority? Someone tells you Latinx has its origins in the 80s from a black woman in Latin America. On its face, that's absolutely ridiculous. Everything about your common sense should tell you, well, that's obviously not true. There's no way. I mean, that's just completely illogical. But I'd be willing to bet, just like the two-spirit thing, if you look, there's something in there that has a kernel of truth, and they just extrapolate it up into being something else. Native Americans have two spirits, and so it proves it's been around for 1,000 years. Well, I mean, I guess Native Americans, yeah, they came up with two-spirit, but it was in 1995 by a bunch of queers. Who were not at all related to actual native culture. But sure. Totally. This, tell me more about how Latinx was created by a black woman in the 80s. What? Moving on. Hate the videos that have the music.
Public Sweat's official Kendall and Bad Bunny are together. This confirms that Kendall is gonna be at Coachella with him. Like, Kendall always goes to Coachella, but like now we all know she's gonna be
What a weird thing. I don't understand this.
Also, imagine Kendall trying to dance and sing along to Benito's song. Like her, a culture vulture, trying to sing along to El Apagón, being like, Puerto Rico, está bien cabrón, está bien cabrón. Ugh, like, stop, Benito, why? Why did you do this to us? She's publicly dating someone who cosplayed as a Mexican in order to sell her tequila brand while she couldn't even pronounce añejo. It's a really bad day to be a Latina and a Bad Bunny stan. Ugh.
Holy hell, man. Watching that video makes me feel like I just took like 6 tequila shots right in a row. Damn. That was wow.
Would you look at who's in my comment section? I saw that you took your video.
No, that comment's in Spanish. We're skipping. I'm in America.
Again.
No.
But Spain did conquer Mexico, and I'm just so grateful that I don't have to fly so far to out of my...
This is why people don't like influencers. Because this creator is in Oaxaca, Mexico. The most diverse state in the...
Do you guys actually know who Bad Bunny is? I've never even heard of this. So I have no idea. I guess I'll have to look it up, man. I'm sure it's great. Smart women on TikTok seem to care about it. But yes, we're about to find out why someone liking Spanish architecture is bad. So here we go.
But Spain did conquer Mexico, and I'm just so grateful that I don't have to fly so far to out of my...
This is why people don't like influencers. Because this creator is in Oaxaca, Mexico. The most diverse state, and the state with the largest indigenous population in all of Mexico. And she's saying that she's grateful that Spain colonized Mexico because...
Based. Grateful that Spain colonized Mexico. You know, if we're going to be honest here, based. Because I also think it would be great that if you were living in a place where they were sacrificing women and children, babies, infants, to gods as blood sacrifices. And then there was people who came in and said, hey, can you just not do that? And they're like, hey, that's not cool, bro. Stop. And of course, I said, no, they fought them. Yeah, that's my point, asshole. I mean, no, is it the opposing force that comes in and stops that? I'd kind of be on board with that too, actually. And let's not forget, come on, the actual historical context, like what actually happened. Spain, there's no way in hell they could have been able to conquer all of that by themselves. Again, they came in and were like, whoa, dude, why are you cutting that baby's head off and wringing its blood out over this stone? That's crazy. We might be in conflict now. And then the regular people who lived there, they looked at the Spaniards and they said, yeah, I'm with these guys now because you keep killing our kids and our people, and that's not cool. Not down with that. These guys are here. They seem to be able to kick your ass, so yeah, I'm with them now. But I'm willing to bet that she has a different interpretation. Could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet she has a different interpretation.
Now she doesn't have to fly all the way to Spain to get these beautiful aesthetic videos. It's just so disrespectful and out of touch. And it's just a perfect example of the racism and xenophobia in Mexico. Because there's still plenty of people, just like the influencer I'm stitching, that believe that Spain violently colonizing Mexico was a good thing. Because if you can just put the violent genocide aside,
yeah, I just described that as a good thing, yes.
They brought really aesthetic vibes and they brought whiteness. And is that really a bad thing? Because look at how pretty Mexico is now. And they don't see anything wrong with that because they're like, that was in the past. They choose to ignore both a violent genocide and the...
Bitch, don't sit here and talk to me about cultural appropriation when you're sitting there with your goddamn Naruto poster in the background. Get out of town. You got Naruto back there. And you're sitting here explaining that you're bummed that someone likes the Spanish vibes. Get out of town. You are stealing those Japanese vibes, putting them in your room while probably living in America. I don't know where you live. I would assume based on your accent, when you're not hamming up the tacos thing, you probably live in America. You live in America and you're stealing Japan's vibes? Get out of here. Get out of town. No, you're right. I'm wrong. Smart lady. Smart lady. Skip.
All my parents rely on me for everything.
No, but let's actually talk about this because the parentification of eldest daughters in Hispanic households is on another level. Because you're not just expected to do everything for your parents, you're expected to do everything for your entire family. I have always been in charge of taking care of my siblings. And I was my siblings' primary caregiver from the time I was in the 4th grade to the time that I moved out. And it's so detrimental to your future relationship with your siblings to have them see you as a parent from a very young age. Because as y'all get older,
I've heard this before. What a weird thing to say that in a family, a large family, right, with a lot of kids, that the older kids are also given somewhat of a parental role by helping the parents take care of the younger kids is somehow wrong and is somehow detrimental and traumatic or something. It's really bizarre to me. I don't understand that at all. Oh, let me know if you think that makes any sense. I don't get it. What? I mean, that just seems like a basic fact of life, but okay.
to have them see you as a parent from a very young age. Because as y'all get older, it is easier for them to be mad at you for not knowing how to be a parent than it is for them to be mad at your parents for working all the time and not being there to raise you. So then the eldest daughter becomes the scapegoat. Your siblings are mad at you because you were a shitty parental figure, while your parents don't say anything because they know you're strong enough to take it. And it's exhausting because nobody sees you as just another child, a daughter, who also needed somebody to take care of her. And it takes a lot of therapy to be.
God, this is so stupid. And by that, I mean, what a beautiful and brave TikTok woman. Yeah, Women's History Month.
Kia, I hope that this whole situation has taught you the importance of choosing your words carefully. Because we can all understand that you were emotional after getting rejected for a job, but that does not excuse the problematic comments that you made in your original video. I watched your original video, which is almost 3 minutes, multiple times before I even made my video. And not one—
Oh my God, she watched a 3-minute long video multiple times before commenting. Man, that's how you know she was super, super serial about this. I don't like the Hitler stash that the play button's giving her right there. Continue. I'm sure this is going to be worthwhile.
In that entire 3-minute video, did you say that the position did not list that you needed to be fluent in Spanish? So yes, if the employer did not list on the job posting that they required for you to be fluent, and then you went in for an interview and they were like, oh, we can't hire you because you're not fluent in Spanish, yes, I would have been upset too. But you didn't explain that in the video. Instead, you got in your car and you started recording yourself saying this.
The way the Spanish culture, the Spanish people, have made it so difficult for one like me to get a job where I'm from. The country that I've been oppressed in.
Man, I don't know which of these people I hate more. Wow. Wow.
Instead of calling out the particular employer that did that to you, you decided to call out the entire community. You basically said the entire Spanish-speaking community.
Which, by the way, Jackie, you did earlier. I mean, I don't know if you remember that. About the actual Spanish, I mean, like the Spaniards, the people from Spain. But, you know, it's okay when I do it.
Community is at fault for you not being able to get a job. And that's why people were coming for you, because that is simply not true. And you also made xenophobic comments like, this is America, this is my country, as if Spanish-speaking people aren't also American and this isn't also their country.
Well, that depends. Are they Americans? I mean, what's the context here? I'm actually generally on board with people who leftists consider to be xenophobes. Because it's a stupid term. I don't agree with it. But, you know. Again, I don't know who's... Well, before I can... I don't know who's smarter here. Because they're both very smart. Very smart women in Women's History Month.
And then you made comments about how you were shocked that your interviewer spoke perfect English to you after speaking Spanish. And to top it all off, you've even been liking xenophobic comments about Latinos and Hispanics in your video. Multiple Latinos have made videos calling you in about how problematic this video was, and you still haven't taken it down. And you've even pinned it on your profile. And now that you've given us context as to why you were upset, we can understand why you were upset. But that does not justify the xenophobia that you displayed in this video. So to conclude this whole thing, yes, the restaurant should have posted that they were specifically looking for someone who spoke Spanish for that position. The fact that they didn't is messed up.
Jackie,
and not
one
okay.
more. That's all I can do. One more. No, it's the same. It's the same woman again. This doesn't count. Give me an original Jackie. I need a Jackie original. One more, just a Jackie original. No. No.
So what is worse?
No.
Me?
No. No.
Roll rice is a
Oh my
fact.
god, this is why I hate TikTok. It's all just reposts and stitchings of all kinds of different shit. Give me a Jackie original. Come on.
This is exactly why what Jeffree Star said about non-binary people.
Okay, so the comment says, I'm not a conservative, but I agree with him. Either you're gay. God, no one can spell anymore. Either you're gay or a trans man or trans woman. So given what she just said, it's about the Jeffree Star thing. All right, let's go.
Is incredibly problematic because this isn't just Jeffree Star sharing an opinion. This is Jeffree Star denying somebody's identity. This is basically gender conforming people saying, I get to decide what identities are valid and what identities are not. Because just how people can identify that they're trans, people can decide that they don't want to be within the gender binary. And people can't say, well, that's not a thing when intersex people exist. Intersex people don't fit within the binary and they have been around for centuries. Gender is
Intersex people actually do fit within the binary, actually, scientifically speaking. But continue.
It's not science, it's a social construct, and people are allowed to decide that they don't want to participate in it. And also, Jeffree and
Someone who decides they don't want to participate in it doesn't then disprove the binary and what Jeffree Star said. You decide for yourself you don't want to participate in reality. That doesn't change the reality for everyone else. But hey, maybe I'm wrong.
people like this are confusing gender identity with sexuality. Because gender identity is how you identify and sexuality is who you're attracted to. So people can be trans and gay. And just how Jeffree is showing us, queer people can be bigoted towards other queer people. This is exactly why
Is Jeffree Star a queer? I mean, I know that Jeffree Star, I mean, just from that video that went viral that Jackie here was talking about, I just learned that Jeffree Star is a man and actually thinks that he is a man. So, which is, you know, good for him. That makes him apparently smarter than a lot of people. But is he gay? I don't know. Okay. Round 2, before we get to the finals. So we get to our final tier. Let's see who wins. Who is going to go up against Misanthrope? Who is the smartest woman between the two? Chris? Which hopefully it hasn't been too long. You don't we all remember Chris. And
emasculate.
Chris or Jackie? Chris or Jackie? Let's go. And don't forget, if you can, super chat, get the super chat jukebox to support the channel. And of course, I usually don't bring it up, but I guess I should start bringing it up more. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. We have a good time. Link in the chat, link in the description, the usual YouTuber thing that people say. Man, luckily we're getting to the end here because I'm about out of drinks. I think that's it. I think I'm out of drinks. It ain't right, man. It ain't right. If I was a smart woman, I would have had more drinks. Place your votes. I mean, we only got 100% for Jackie. Chris deserves at least one. At least one. Oh, okay. We got Chris one. All right, I feel better now. It feels fair. But obviously Jackie's the clear winner. Jackie's the clear winner. I mean, I guess if you're going for who's the smartest TikTok lady between the two, I kind of would have to agree, I guess, that Jackie is clearly the smart TikTok lady. And now that we're here, this brings us to the finals. Which one is going to be the winner of TikTok Tuesday? We've got Jackie and Misanthrope. Wish she had a real name on there. Misanthrope doesn't even fit her at all. Misanthrope would probably fit me better than her. Anyway. Refresher. Let's jump in. I'm going to pick a random Misanthrope video that we have not watched and see how painful it is.
Kyle Rittenhouse was just interviewed by Don Jr. Let's have some fun. Who did Kyle Rittenhouse say he was up against during his trial? A, woke media outlets. B, George Soros-funded prosecutors. Or C, the Antifa-backed district attorney. You have your guess?
It was scary. I was up against these George Soros-funded prosecutors.
What was going on? Were these guys getting some sort of, back-end donations? And I mean, the media, obviously, and everyone else going after it, but...
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. I don't know for 100% fact.
Yeah.
But I guarantee. I'm sure of it.
George Soros-funded prosecutors? Come on, man.
Oh, I know, because that's totally crazy. And only a super smart TikTok woman would know that that's totally crazy to even insinuate that there has possibly been, at any point in time, prosecutors working for the Democrats and far-left policies that were funded by George Soros. Not only is it crazy, it's anti-Semitic, and it's never happened ever in the history of the world. I'm glad we got that cleared up.
It all started with Hawk talking about racing the flush.
I'm sorry, who? Who was that? One more time. Misanthrope, one more time?
It all started with Hawk talking about...
Was she saying a name, or was she actually like hawking a loogie? It all started with Hawk. Hawk. It's certainly an accent, for sure.
It all started with Hawk talking about racing the flush.
There's no racing the flush when you're peeing, and I don't know, it leaves me feeling kind of cheated.
So then I responded, confused, of course. What are men doing? Racing the flush. What is this? And now, thanks to Convict Donald, it has gone next level. What is this?
This one's for the men. The toilet in my new apartment.
I guarantee you that Misanthrope here is the same kind of woman. Where she's saying, what's going on with men? What's happening with men? I just don't get this. Is the same kind of woman that would watch that Roe versus Bros TikTok page where they're asking men off the street different things about periods and tampons and how they don't know everything about it because they're men. And say, what? How could men not know this? This is what dumbasses. That was a painful point in time when that was going around.
So the way capitalism works, if you have a product, you want to try to have the most amount of people buy it. That's sort of the goal. And because lots of different types of people have money, you want as many different types of people as possible to relate to your product, right?
No, it's the woke agenda.
Lego is going woke. The company unveiling a range of new characters in the effort to be more inclusive. Lego says the new characters will promote diversity and understanding. Some will have anxiety issues. I don't know how you show that. One will have a missing limb, another Down syndrome. These are really important issues.
Yeah.
Do you want Lego in there?
Definitely not. But what's so fascinating about this story is the divide in the country. Republicans think it's insane that
Who is this guy? Does anyone know who this guy is? I immediately don't like him because I judge books by their cover. Not a fan of this guy already. Just by looking at him. Not a fan.
that they're forcing identity politics into Legos. Democrats are upset that they didn't make a drag queen stripper. They're like, you call this a children's toy? What kind of set is this? No, it shouldn't be going on the way it's going on. But the reason they force identity into toys is because they think identity comes with a built-in political orientation. And that's what they're after here. I'm not having it. Wow.
It has nothing to do with identity politics. And believe it or not, even though diversity is a beautiful, wonderful thing to promote, it has nothing to do with that either. It's literally just trying to market your product to the most amount of people as possible. I am enjoying watching conservatives.
So even when you're trying to, for some strange reason, champion capitalism, which is bizarre, to guarantee you in any other context, she doesn't like capitalism. It doesn't work. Trying to market, we're just simply trying to market to as many people as possible. Get woke, go broke has been an absolute law of economics since it was coined. Every single time. Every single time. If it was genuinely wanting to broaden the customer base, like she's claiming, why would they do this? Well, obviously it's because you get more people and then you'll sell more product. Really? How come that never happens? How come every time they do this woke thing where we're just broadening the customer base by appealing to more people? Really? How come it always crashes and burns and goes belly up every time? Every time. I've never heard this argument for this. I mean, she must be particularly smart. I've never even heard. Usually I hear the opposite, is that because it crashed and burned is the reason why they should keep doing it, because it proves how much work is left to be done. It's like, wow, most people don't want this. We should keep doing it because most people should want this. Which is get woke, go broke. But apparently she's arguing we're appealing to more demographics. We're being capitalist. No, if you're being capitalist, you wouldn't do this.
Lose their goddamn mind. Like, for instance, Ben Stein and Aunt Jemima.
I sometimes do it just to make breakfast for dinner. Aunt Jemima yummy pancake syrup. Now, this used to show a large African American woman chef, but because of the inherent racism of Americans' corporate culture, they decided to make it a white person or maybe no person at all. But I preferred it when it was a black person showing their incredible skill at making pancakes.
So the way capitalism
And based Ben Stein? How did I miss that video? I love that all the woke things resulted in removing the black woman from the syrup, resulted in removing the Indian woman or Native American woman from the butter. What was some of the other ones that they did? There's been several of those things. I can't remember off the top of my head, but those are the two I can think of immediately. Resulted in removing all of those. But you know, because of racism, I guess, or something. You know who still remains? All the white mascots. Colonel Sanders still going strong. But apparently it's anti-racism that removed all colored people from advertising except for the white man. I don't really get that, but sure. I guess the way to defeat racism as a woke individual is to just get rid of all the coloreds. And as long as you're only left with the white people, then everything's great, I guess, is what their argument is, because we stole the land from the Native American woman on Land of Lakes, butter. She gone. We stole the land again. We we kicked her out. That's how anti-racist we are. Okay, that's Misanthrope. Misanthrope versus our other finalist, Jackie. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see what Jackie has to say.
If you have 4 or more drinks and you're female and less than 2.
So pretty much everyone in that comment section is making jokes and bragging about how often they black out. And that's really sad because it shows how normalized alcoholism and alcohol abuse is within our society. Because that's a serious educational video that is talking about the impact that alcohol has on your brain. Like she was explaining that when people drink so heavily, so quickly, their brain can't process all of that alcohol, so it just turns off. That's really intense. And
I mean, I think it's your liver that's processing it, but yeah, sure. I mean, she's not wrong.
Donald Trump just announced his new NFT collection, which he's calling Trump Cards, and let me show you his commercial for it.
This is Donald Trump.
By the way, this is
hopefully
real.
your favorite president of all time.
Come on, let's get a good one where she's talking about something.
Angry woman going nuts.
I'm gonna need anti-black Latinos to stop doing this every single time they see a single black
Anti-black Latinos
person doing anything wrong, because it just looks like y'all are looking for any reason to try and justify your anti-blackness and your racism. And the comments in that
again, I just want to bring up she's got the Naruto poster behind her. Just saying.
Video are just filled with racist microaggressions. It's so embarrassing how some of y'all just jump at the opportunity to be openly racist towards black people. Because let's be real right now. This creator is saying that the black community needs to discuss how they treat Native Mexicans. How about we have a discussion on how Mexicans treat indigenous Mexicans? And let's also talk about
Man. Okay, I guess I should let it finish.
Native Mexicans. How about we have a discussion on how Mexicans treat indigenous Mexicans? And let's also talk about how non-black Mexicans treat black Mexicans. Because if you're gonna sit here and point the finger at another community and tell them to hold themselves accountable, you should be holding your own community accountable first. So let's stop blaming an entire community for the actions of one person.
Ah, yes. if you're going to ask someone to be accountable for their actions, you should look at your community first. So if your brother gets stabbed while walking down the street, he's bleeding out, you should run over there and say, but what about our ancestors? What about our community and the bad things they've done? As he's dying. Wait, you're upset about the person that stabbed you? Well, what about the people that our ancestors have metaphorically and sometimes literally stabbed? Can you really be upset about this? Is it? Come on, you can't. Sure, you're bleeding out. You're about to die. This is bad things have happened. But can't we also agree that our own people have also done bad things? Yeah, I don't give a fuck about what my people, my ancestors have done while I'm currently bleeding out on the street after being stabbed. But sure, of course, absolutely, 100%.
No. My corgis are the worst, and they try to fight me. This comment is perfect because this was his exact justification.
This comment is perfect. I'm gonna say this will be the last Jackie, and then we'll have the final vote for the night. Latinos don't support LGBTQ in any way, especially Mexicans, and you can't force us to like y'all. Others might say y'all are sinners. I hate that people use the word y'all. I feel like my culture is being appropriated here, but I'm not allowed to have feelings about that. You can't be white and feel that the term y'all has been stolen from you. It's not even white people, just Southern people in general, but sure.
He tried to shield his bigotry behind his religion. I don't think they have the capacity to understand that when they say things like this, they're basically saying that all people within their religion are just as bigoted as them. And it's such a cowardly cop-out because instead of just standing on the fact that you yourself are homophobic, you're trying to normalize homophobia by saying that all of your community is homophobic. Completely ignoring the fact that there's queer Mexicans, that there's queer Latinos, that there's queer people that follow your religion. How ignorant and entitled are you to dare say that your entire community follows your bigoted views? But anyways, this is exactly how my supervisor thought. He was like, I'm Christian and I don't agree with gay people. I don't want to associate with gay
she's
people.
So smart.
And I don't feel comfortable
me.
saying that because certain members of the team will attack me for it. Meaning me, the only queer person on his team, he didn't want to share his views with me because I would attack him. This comment...
You only hear these types of things from these types of people. And what I mean by that is incredibly smart, brilliant, beautiful, woke women in the United States. Let's listen to it one more time. You only hear this type of story from these kinds of people.
I'm Christian and I don't agree with gay people. I don't want to associate with gay people. And I don't feel comfortable saying that because certain members of the team will attack me for it.
No way that ever happened. But you're smarter than me, and I'm sure it 100% definitely happened because you said it did, and never mind the fact that the language you just used is completely insane. No one who actually has a problem with gay people would use the words that you just said. I have a problem with gay people, but I feel uncomfortable to be attacked. The way that you said that, absolutely not. 100% not. Guarantee you only one of two things would happen. Either the person would never say anything about it and you never hear it because they're not stupid, that they know. They know how people act. I've been in that situation before. I was just in that situation this past weekend. You just don't say anything. Or you say it and you mean it. There's not a Well, I would like to speak my mind, but I just feel too uncomfortable. No. You either don't say a word or you say all the words. And you just... No, fuck it. It's over. I'm just going to say it. You're not going to get this in-between nonsense where they're going to share with someone that they know is going to get them in trouble. That, I actually feel this way about, and I don't like this, but I might get in trouble. Don't tell anybody. And they're going to say it to you, the person they absolutely 100% know is one of those people that... You get it. All right. The final vote. It comes down to this. And then there were two. Who deserves to be the winner of the smart women of TikTok? Misanthrope or Jackie? Because we both know they are totally genius. Absolutely smart ladies. Complete geniuses. Place your votes now for the final round. And again, of course, if you haven't, join the Discord, super chat for the jukebox and support the channel, and check out the merch. Right now, there's it's been up there for a little while. I think is my favorite coffee mug that I've ever had out there. The Christmas ones and the year one, that was a good one. Year 2 mugs coming soon. I can't remember exactly. We'll look that up, but that'll be a series that I started from Mug Club. I will actually explain this Friday on my current feelings about Steven Crowder coming back. I've been listening to him. I think there's some stuff to be said about it, but but yeah. Don't forget. Dude, I think this is the bomb, man. The American flag. American flag coffee mug. Anyway, are we gonna do unanimous decision? Unanimous? Jackie wins? The smartest woman on TikTok for Women's History Month. Oh man, everyone's going for it. It doesn't feel right to not have at least one vote for the underdog. Oh, there we go. We got some votes for Misanthrope. So I feel like now I feel like it's fair. I feel like all voices were heard. I feel like we all went to Ukraine and fought for democracy, and now we have democracy and all voices were heard. It's fantastic. So, there we go. Jackie Jackie's coming in. Number 1 smartest woman on TikTok for Women's History Month. Brilliant. Brilliant. I cannot wait to break down one of her just absolutely brilliant videos on Friday for the TikTok Tuesday winner. And of course, the last thing that we're going to do we have to check in with Mole before we check out, because that's what we it's the way she goes. Jackie wins. So I'm gonna save that. Got it saved. I gotta make a stinger for that. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Before next Tuesday, I'll make a stinger for the winner. It feels anticlimactic if we don't have some big celebration, right? I mean, I got the intro back. I mean, that's good. But if we don't all know that Jackie,
so you know the one that he's written all of these songs about Carlis? Yeah, she's suing him for using her voice without her authorization. If you didn't know, this is Carlis de la Cruz Hernandez, and she dated Benito between 2011 and 2016.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, this is exactly what it is. Google and Meta were threatened by TikTok, and so that's why they collaborated to get TikTok banned. I mean, Meta tried everything to try to copy TikTok's success.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what's going on. Thank you, Jackie. All right. As we always close out TikTok Tuesday.
Is legally changing your name as simple as filling out a form telling the world that you're gonna start by going by a new name? Well,
Mole. We're back with I'm Glad You Asked.
No, unfortunately, it is not that simple. If it was that simple, a lot more trans people would have changed their names by now. Depending on where you're from, determines the process you have to follow in order to change your name. Most states require you to fill out different forms and submit them to the court system. Once all the required documents are submitted to the court, you then will have to pay a court fee. And that court fee, again, is going to depend on where you live. Fees can range from $100 to $500. After paying your fees and submitting your documents, you then will have to appear in court in front of a judge. You then have to state your case and tell the judge why you are trying to change your name. And then after stating your case, it is up to the judge to determine whether...
What a weird time you live in where this is... I okay.
It's finally Aries season, baby! Which means it's time for things to start coming alive and for us to thrive. Hey! Hey! Let's get it! It's finally
Oh, God, I hate it so much.
So here's the thing. Whenever I...
Man. Wait. Watch the hair. The amount of dandruff.
Oh, here's the thing.
Oh, man.
I want to dress up and look feminine and present like this, I never felt good. I felt ugly and fake and super uncomfortable every time I had to present like feminine. Even when people like came up to me and were like, "Oh my God, Mo, you're so beautiful," I'd be like, "Haha, thanks." But on the inside, I was really like, I'm ugly and uncomfortable. And you're just saying that because I don't ever dress up. But that's only because I didn't like being feminine. But now that I'm comfortable in my body and like I know who I am, and I'm grateful that I get to present my masculine self and like just be me, I can...
It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre, honestly, that's now like... Why did you have to pretend to be a different gender to do that? I mean, in all seriousness, what a really bizarre thing. There's been butch lesbians for a long time. They didn't say that they were non-binary, masculine, trans, mask, something or other. They just they were just butch women. You know, I guess every generation's got their own thing going on. So that's Mole. It's a lot of good stuff. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't hit the like, make sure you hit the like. Check out the merch, join the Discord, super chats, all the good stuff. I'm gonna hang in the Discord for a little bit tonight, before I go to sleep, and make sure you join on Friday for the celebration of the TikTok Tuesday winner, Jackie. But, you know, I don't have any problem with Mole. I mean, honestly, there was, because remember, I was the first person who brought Mole up. Never forget, I'm always the first person. Because that's just how I identify, as the first person who finds these people. But a bunch of people were ripping on Mole. From Matt Walsh, and I think Crowder had some stuff on, and Elijah Schaefer's had some videos, you know, or was ripped on some of Mole's videos. I always disagreed. I actually didn't think that there was anything wrong with Mole in terms of being harmful to anyone else. If that makes any sense. Because everyone was acting like, oh, look at this person is harming children. I was like, I don't necessarily see it that way. I think that there's I think they're sick. And they need some help, but are you going to tell me that Mole is the same as Jeffrey Marsh? Obviously not. I mean, Jeffrey Marsh should be in prison like yesterday. I think Mole is actually good intentioned and is just lost. That's very different than a Jeffrey Marsh Buffalo Bill type. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been TikTok Tuesday. And I just realized that the sound was off for that, and now I'm super bummed because I didn't get to hear the Final Fantasy sound. So we're gonna do it one more time. This has been TikTok Tuesday. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys on Friday. And again, like I said, I'll hang out in the Discord for a little bit if you guys want to chat. Make sure you contact Jackie and let her know that she's won the Smartest Woman on TikTok award for Women's History Month. I gotta get swamp plushies like James O'Keefe of his Retracto, the alpacas. You know, I gotta get some swamp plushies to send these people. You have won TikTok Tuesday. All right, guys. I'll see you on Friday.